future with flying cars, and we'd all be superstars. Energy is endlessly entertaining us violently. Commercials play on TV, and nothing was ever free. Self-aware, made mistakes that land us anywhere. With corded phones and tape machines, you could do anything if you just believe. Commercials play on TV, and nothing was ever free. Fake Nikes. He liked computers and Atari games. Wanted friends, but kids can't be mean. He played the keyboard, loved the music scene. Formed a band that we pay to see. It's funny how people see all the rock stars on MTV.
What's up, everybody? Thursday, we made it. Some say the best day. Some say the best day. We got Lure Stream coming at you. We got That Being Said coming at you. And we got the Tractor Beam coming at you. What a day, all day. To get you ready for the weekend ahead. Hope you're doing well out there. Everybody in the house. Shadow Slammer, big ups to you, says, hey, bub. I eat me, chicken filet tries it. Look real good, bub. You slob on food like me, wheelchair, bub. Marble wobbles. Hey, bub. What size shoe you wear? Shadow Slammer? Oh, excuse me, Jade. I can't answer that. I have a family to protect. So I think you understand that. And we're playing Balatro today. We're not playing Marvel Rivals anymore. And that's dead because you don't donate enough, you dumb fuck. Tired of it. What's it? Donate or get the fuck out. Sub, donate, or get the fuck out. That's what Phil just wants to say to Jade so much. But he does. He has a membership, so there we go. He does the minimum level to keep him around, you know? He is a sub, so Phil can't yell at him too much. Subscribe, donate, and get the fuck out. There you go. Subscribe, donate, get the fuck out. The legendary delivery there. Subscribe, donate, get the fuck out. Anyways, not that. We are in the house here for a little bit of a, let's say, escaping Pignosis episode about a single person. And this is John Rambo. Sir Rambo, as some say it. But we're not going to cover the breakup entirely. We're going to talk about how Smart Guys ended. And which I think was a contributing factor into Rambo leaving for sure. How Phillip handled that very poorly, if you might expect. So yeah, we're going to go today till 2 p.m. and then 30-minute break style. And then That Being Said starts at 2:30 p.m. with a full house. So get excited for that. We got all 4 members rocking and rolling today, which should be a lot of fun. And we got a lot of ground to cover on that show as well. All right, so to start our story. Uh-oh, we got Shadow Slammer again. Big up. Says, it like Razzmatazz, bub. You Razzmatazz the wife. Make her push on wheelchair like me. She got big arms, bub. Marble wobbles. Thanks so much, Shadow Slammer. I'm getting better at deciphering your messages, I think. Big up, Shadow Slammer. You're a legend. And you got the Comcast guy. Who knows? Maybe he had something to do with the recent internet issues. But anyways, let's go. All right, so we're going to start a story in the long time. This is so long ago. 2012. A faraway land of 2012. You ready? And this is the weekend preview. And Phillip's angry about something, if you might expect. Phillip's angry. So let's hear what he's angry about. What is he pissed about?
Not me trying to badmouth 50,000 views.
There we go.
In the teaser trailer and put the wrong date like an idiot, so I will clarify that in this video, okay?
Cool.
But the teaser trailer already has about 50,000 views, which is great. It's only been out for a couple days, 50,000 views. I'm sure it'll get more views over time, and I really feel a lot of anticipation for this episode. One thing I would like to say, which really pisses me off, and this is not me trying to badmouth John Rambo.
Uh-oh, something really pisses me off. Uh-oh. 50,000 views, thanks, guys. But something really pisses me off. Here it is.
In any way, but in Project 7, this series so far, John Rambo's character in the series gets a lot of the funny parts.
Okay,
He's supposed to be like the deadpan comic that all of a sudden does crazy shit or does silly stuff, and it comes out really funny. And I want to let everyone know that we've been seeing comments on the videos that are kind of stupid, uninformed, and disheartening. Things like, oh, DSP sucks.
Who is that disheartening for? Is Rambo going to get disheartened by hearing, hey, man, Rambo's funny in this? I'm not sure who would be disheartened by that except one person.
On the videos that are kind of stupid, uninformed, and disheartening. Things like, oh, DSP sucks and Howard sucks in this series. It's all about John Rambo, John Rambo, John Rambo. You know, and that's true. A lot of the funny stuff was given to John Rambo. But here's the deal. We all write the episode. Just last week, myself, Howard, and John Rambo got together here in my condo, and we all collectively together put our heads together and wrote all of episode 4 of Project 7. Okay? It's a group effort, and it evolves over time. In fact, a lot.
So give attention to me. It's a group effort. Like, you could just say, man, Thanks for enjoying the show, guys. Yeah, Rambo's hilarious. Nope. We have to make sure you know it is not just John Rambo. Really cool friend here, right? And he gets all the benefit, guys. Don't forget that. It'd be different if John Rambo's making all the money because he gets all the laughs, but that's not fucking true. Phillip's still getting all the money, and yet still complaining just because he's not getting the correct attention he craves. He's already getting all the money, but not enough attention. Got it.
A lot of the funniest stuff kind of just becomes improv stuff that we didn't. There's a scene in episode 3 that you're gonna see. You're gonna piss your fucking pants laughing when you watch it. I kid you not. And you're gonna know what scene it is when you see it.
What scene could that be? That's when what's it called? Gaseous snake farts or something. I'm sure that's what he's talking about.
And it was completely improv by Howard, by OJ, by a couple different people on the fucking spot. So for people to say, oh, this one person is completely the funniest person, you're a complete fucking idiot. You don't understand the creative process.
Okay, so again, the comments are, hey, John Rambo's funny in this, right? But that's the thing that's pissing him off, is just someone saying, man, John Rambo's hilarious. Imagine being pissed at that. You're watching a character of a show. Man, Lisa's the funniest character in this Simpsons episode. I want you to know that we all wrote that. You can't say, oh, cool, the show's a success. Someone thinks people think something is funny. It's like, come on, man.
Of how this stuff comes together, the fact that we all put our heads together and write it. It's actually insulting for you to say one particular person is the best person in the series when we all write the series. Case in point, in this teaser trailer, there's a funny scene featuring John Rambo, and everyone says it's the best part of the trailer.
Yeah,
and I even saw a comment saying, wow, this is Rambo's the funniest thing. Guess what? I wrote that scene. It was my idea.
That has nothing to do with it. It's that person thinks the acting in that one was Howard really nailed that scene. Imagine, let's extrapolate on this. You're watching, the new Avengers movie, and the guy does a great role, plays, great acting, but then the writer's like, excuse me, I wrote that. Hello? I wrote that, dumb fucks. Yeah, but you weren't the person on the screen. And also the writer, any real writer, will be happy to know that what they wrote is being well received by whoever does it. And anyways, this is a really cool person here. Really cool. He loves his friends, that's for sure.
That was the funniest thing. Guess what? I wrote that scene. It was my idea to put that scene in there. I have no problem that it was John Rambo acting it out.
Yes,
in fact,
you do.
For a lot of the Project 7 series, I've kind of been on the back burner. I've been the character that drives the story, meaning, uh-oh, I'm kidnapped. Uh-oh, now I'm emotional because I've lost my gaming powers. Uh-oh.
I'm emotional. Yeah, Phillip really showed his range with his emotionality in that trailer. Holy shit, man. Tearing right at your heartstrings on that one, boys. Hell yeah.
I'm kind of a tool to get the story moving.
Oh, wait. Let me hear that again.
Powers. Uh-oh. I'm kind of a tool.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. I agree.
Now I'm emotional because I've lost my gaming powers. Uh-oh. I'm kind of a tool.
Oh, cool. Well, you're kind of a tool. So I want to show you the comments that I think he's talking about here. Now, I don't know if this is exactly the one, okay? But this is one of the, just an example of some of the comments that are received from these videos. So I don't know if this is the exact one, but I'm just giving you it's just 12 years ago when they were dropping these trailers. So we have one here. Found this dude outside. He's never played the game before, and he's drinking Pine Sol. Oh, Rambo, you are an awesome, awesome man. Hope this person understands who wrote that. Hope this person knows who deserves the real credit. Rambo is honestly hilarious in his delivery. There's shit everywhere. Got him another mouth drooler. Look at this. Here's another one. Imagine. I mean, are you getting pissed? As the writer of this series, if you were the writer of this series, you'd definitely be getting pissed, right? John Rambo's lines make this series. True man of legend. These idiots don't understand the creative process, clearly. Right? Imagine being pissed about that. That shows how much of a bitchy baby he is. They're just saying your friend is cool. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, your friend is cool. Well, your supposed friend that you care about. But no, we're just going to bitch at him. Hey, guys, don't remember that I'm also in this series. Hello? Have you noticed me? Hello?
To get the story moving, but I haven't really been at the forefront. I haven't been the leader of the guys or anything like that as of yet. That will change in future episodes, as you're going to see.
Yeah, they'll suck.
For now, it'll change in future episodes, as you're going to see, but...
We're going to eat a lunch meat sandwich.
You see, I think the quarter demon heard enough on this one. He said, all right, that's it. I'm waking up. That's it. I'm waking up, bitch. Tired of it. Stop defaming my boy. How long is this?
For now, I'm doing the role that I need to do in these episodes. I don't need to be absolutely fucking laugh out loud hilarious. John Rambo's had lots of opportunities to be laugh out loud hilarious so far.
Got it.
And so he comes across as maybe the funniest character. It's a difference between saying John Rambo is the funniest character in this series versus, oh, John Rambo's the only good thing about this series.
So that's the one that hurt him. That's the one that hurt him. And I think I showed that one to you as well. I think this is the one that hurt him. Oh, wait, not this one. John's lines make this series. How dare you? How dare you undermine my work by saying John Rambo's lines make this series? How dare you?
Then you have no idea how the series works, how a creative process works, and you're insulting everyone else who works on the fucking episodes. So shut your fucking mouths or get blocked. That's simple.
Okay.
That being said, watch the teaser trailer if you haven't already.
Cool. Man, you can see how people, it's really confusing how this guy became a lolcow that everyone hates on the internet. It's really hard to tell how that happened, isn't it?
And let me tell you this, there might be a possibility of another trailer that will be coming out during the course of this week. Possibility.
Oh, yeah, they love their fucking trailers on Project 7. There's more trailers than episodes of Project 7.
100%. Maybe one more trailer before the episode actually releases this weekend. But more on that as we approach, okay?
Yes, Cody, that's correct.
And finally, I know this is a
get blocked for liking John Rambo. That's it.
long recap session. Sorry I'm going so long-winded, but there's just so much crazy shit that happened.
Oh, quick bite. Hold on.
Lee and I decided, but there's just so much...
Hang on, let me get a quick bite. I've been talking a while. I need a quick... I'm famished. I'm feeling a bit peckish. Hang on.
Crazy shit that happened. Lee and I decided that we did want to pick up Connect Star Wars, okay?
All right, we're not talking about Star Wars. But there you go. This is the first kind of, let's say, negative thing Phillip said, which a normal friend would be like, dude, what the fuck, man? I mean, did you have to go that far? I mean, you could just said, cool, thanks for watching the series. But nope. If you say John Rambo's the only good thing about the series, get that ass blocked. Sounds good to me. Big Up Yomoto says, will that being said crew play Marble Wobbles with Jade? No, we won't. We don't play Marble Wobbles with anybody. We have too many trolls that'll ruin the experience. Shadow Slammer in the house says, Bub, I pissed, but only my wheelchair helped. I can't help you there. Oh, Shadow Slammer said he's having a great day and loves the show. Thank you so much, Shadow Slammer. All right, moving forward. We're going 2 years later. And let me get my Twitter view up here. All right. So, what I mean to say is, this year I'm moving, and therefore there will not be any more couch co-op with Rambo. So enjoy it now, while it lasts. Enjoy it now. The internet is a hell of a place. Normal people go insane instantly, and people shrug off 33 million. Go figure. I don't know what you're talking about. Evil AJ says, DSP himself once said that atheism is based on a religion. Think about that. Is that true? DSP said atheism is based on a religion. Pretty cool. Praise the atheism god. Make sacrifices to the atheism god. Yes. Bring your firstborn. Anyways. That's how you break that news. Damn, that's shocking. See, people are really invested here. We do special call Pajama before the move. Going to miss John. He was funny. Orange, Get your ass out of here. Tired of it. I want to ban your ass. You don't understand how the creative process works? Can you do a big batch of indies with him before you go? Fuck you. Could you do like a week dedicated to co-op before you go then? Please. Fuck you.
I appreciate
Jesus Christ. These fucking needy people. All they want to see is more John, by the way. Please get us more John. I'm sure Phillip got pissed at those too, you know? Everyone's talking about John in responses. I mean, I know I'm leaving, but still. Okay. Next up, Ask the King. This is after he moved. We're going to talk about what's going on with John Rambo.
Okay. All right. Now, the next thing that was a common question that people have been asking me for weeks, and I finally have a definitive update for you on this one, is in regards to John Rambo.
Oh, please.
As you know, John Rambo and I, when I lived in Connecticut, pretty much almost every week, it was about 3 weeks out of the month, would do co-op gameplay on a Saturday. We'd do our podcast called Smark Guys, where we would do live wrestling commentary on everything that's been going on over the course of that particular week in
Who
WWE,
can't remember that?
And sometimes in TNA and even Ring of Honor and other stuff.
Who can't remember that?
And we had plans that we were going to start a new show.
Remember all this when we get to, we're going to obviously get to what Rambo's side of this, right? So let's just keep this in your mind, Phillip's side of this story, obviously.
And we had plans that we were going to start a new show once I moved to the state of Washington, where it would be like a coast-to-coast show where I talk about stuff on the West Coast, he talks about stuff on the East Coast.
What?
And we kind of, communicate once a week.
What's the West Coast topics of wrestling? All right, well, WWE side of things, they had a house show in California that was super high. Let me go through all the matches there. Rambo, what's on your end? Well, AEW had a house show in Alabama. It was really hype. Well, here's all the matches rundown. All right, cool. There's the geographical rundown of the wrestling.
Doing that. And everyone's been saying,
what the fuck does that mean?
On the East Coast, and we kind of, communicate once a week doing that. And everyone's been saying, what's been going on with this? What is going on with Rambo? It's now been 2 months you've lived in...
Oh, yeah, Mr. Extravagant. That's going to be the bulk of the show probably today, on that being said. Is that, well, we got feet content, too. Don't forget that. So, that being said, kind of has 3 parts today. The camera / feet content, grill fill, and then last night, Keno Casino went off on him, too, many times, so...
Washington, you haven't done a Smart Guys, and I've been trying my best to keep you guys in the know and informed on what's going on.
Please.
John was very inundated with work and working on his show Schnozman and Hole Punch. And finally, the final episode of Schnozman and Hole Punch was released last week to much acclaim. It's one of the best internet-based things I think I've ever seen in my life.
Too much acclaim. Siskel and Ebert gave it 2 thumbs up. It was incredible. Schnozman and Hole Punch. Incredible. Much acclaim. I went to the premiere. On that note, interestingly enough, Top Tier Rated, which I retweeted, I believe. Top Tier Rated tweeted this 15 hours ago, which is very timely. Doing some cleaning and found this gem. That is the Schnozman and Hole Punch DVD that Top Tier Rated Brian was a character in. He did a fight scene or something like that. But yeah, pretty cool. Top Tier Rated still has his copy.
It's really well done, especially for keeping in mind that John did 99% of the work himself, the filming, the writing, the editing. Really, he did everything himself, the music, shit.
Oh.
And the writing, the editing, really, he did everything himself, the music, shit.
Oh, he did the music and shit.
And I didn't hear back from him after that. I texted him and congratulated him on the show, and I said, "It's great. What are you thinking for our stuff now? When can we get started up?" So I hadn't heard.
You know what that means. So put that through the DSP filter there. So, hey, what about our stuff? What's going on? The truth of the matter is 18 paragraphs about how, well, it seems you're free then. Schnozman came out. I didn't notice it. It was great, by the way. I loved it. Anywho, Smart Guys, when's it happening? Anyways, hope you're doing well. Okay, Smart Guys, seriously, we need to get this going. People miss you, okay? I don't miss you personally, but other people do, and I need the money, okay? Please. Anyways, hope you're doing well. Really love you. Anyways, Smart Guys, yeah, we're doing it. ASAP. Get back to me now.
What are you thinking for our stuff now? When can we get started up? So I hadn't heard from him. Finally, last night, I'll be honest with you guys, I was feeling kind of not frustrated, but almost worried that something had happened where he was pissed at me or something, that he wasn't responding to anything that I was sending him. And so I went ahead and I texted him again. I'm going to, I told you guys I'm the realest person on the internet. I got nothing to hide. I'm going to tell you.
I texted him again, so that probably means 10 times. I mean, honestly, that's probably 10 messages right there. I texted him again, just sent him a quick mail. That's 5 or 10 messages in a row. I mean, you saw what he did to Review Tech. Imagine what he did to his friend.
Exactly what we talked about via text.
Oh, sweet.
And basically I said, here you go. I said, hey, John, I hope you're doing well. Haven't heard from you recently. I'd like to catch up.
You seem to have missed my last 18 messages.
With you, off camera. Don't worry about any filming. I just want to hear how you're doing. We haven't talked in a while, and it feels weird.
It's really bad when you have to say that, isn't it?
Camera. Don't worry about any filming. I just want to hear how you're doing. We haven't talked in a while, and it feels weird to me. I knew you had Schnozhole going on, but when you didn't respond at all to my text...
Schnozhole? Oh, is Schnozhole the name of the movie? I don't know, but did he fuck up the title? Schnozhole?
Talked in a while, and it feels weird to me. I knew you had Schnozhole going on, but when you didn't respond at all to my text last week...
I thought it was Schnozman and Hole Punch. Or maybe Schnozhole is like what cool people call it. Hey, you check out the latest episode of Schnozhole? Yeah, I saw it. It was pretty great. Big Schnozhole fan.
Like something may be wrong. Just let me know. No pressure. I want to know where we stand and that you're okay. And then John did respond this morning, and he said, hey, you're going to have to count me out for a while. I need to get my money together so that I can move to a better place. YouTube stuff isn't going to help me with that. Yep. I'm around most nights if you ever want to call. So I did respond to him, and I said, all right, in the next couple days...
Okay, I'm around most nights if you ever want to call. I'm around most nights if you ever want to call.
Help me with that. I'm around most nights if you ever want to call. So I did respond to him, and I said, all right, in the next couple days, I'll try to squeeze in a time when I can call. I know there's a big time zone difference. But the bottom line
Brother, it's 3 hours, man. 3 hours.
A couple days, I'll try to squeeze in a time when I can call. I know there's a big time zone difference. But the bottom line is it sounds to me like John is just not interested in doing anything on YouTube right now.
You could also just call and check in on him, see how he's doing, though. He said call.
And I'm gonna talk a little bit right now.
Okay, please.
Because
I'm going to tell you all the things I can't tell John to his face because I'm definitely not calling him. So here we go. I don't care that much to call, but I can bitch at you guys on the internet so you guys don't get mad at me for John Rambo not being on the show anymore.
I'm going to be honest with everybody. I think that John does not get the credit that he deserves. I think that John...
That is wild. When you compare it to the first video, that's fucking wild. Let me hear that again.
John does not get the credit that he deserves.
But that's interesting because if we give him too much credit, you said you'd ban us. Aww. What? I'm confused.
I think that John Rambo in particular...
Okay, great. Yeah.
Actually... puts in an incredible amount of work ethic, effort, and time into his work that people don't understand. I think that John, unfortunately, didn't get as much, if anywhere near anything, out of the stuff that he put into YouTube like I did. All right?
Yeah.
So
and he put in way more than you did. One thing, Rambo's not the coolest dude. I know people think he's cool and stuff, but he's kind of cringe-lord as well. But one thing you could say about John Rambo is that he worked his ass off to put those fucking videos out and to put his podcast out. This dude was on the grind to put that shit together. So I'm sure some part in Phillip's small brain, he must feel bad about that, right? Because he was putting in the real work, right? But, just he didn't catch on. He was kind of wasn't there when Phillip got in, when anyone could get there and do it. But yeah, he's cool compared to Phil. That's a good way to put it. He's cool compared to Phil. Some cringy jokes on the same level, but he also could write a few jokes. I have laughed at a few Rambo jokes in my life. I've never laughed at a Phillip joke outside of ironic shit like that looks pretty good. That's it. But
anywhere near anything out of the stuff that he put into YouTube like I did. All right. So I'm gonna give you a quick bit of history. Back when I started on YouTube on a whim, I started doing gameplay or whatever, and I had this huge jump in popularity because no one was doing gameplay on YouTube like I was. Everyone was either doing professional level walkthroughs, or they weren't doing live commentary, or it was all nothing like raw, unedited real gameplay like I was
Yep.
doing on YouTube. I was the only person doing it like that at the time. And it became hugely popular. And then in that particular year, we were heavily into Street Fighter. We were playing Street Fighter 4. Years passing after that into 2009, 2010, John and I started doing co-op of gameplay and stuff like that. And so John that year actually qualified to go to Super Battle Opera in Japan.
Yep.
And
he beat Phillip to do that, by the way. And Phillip was his teacher, so it's a student overtaking the teacher in that one instance. But John did vlog it.
At Super Battle Opera, he documented everything. He went and he videotaped everything, and because he had a following of people who knew who he was from my content, he made his own YouTube channel, John Rambo Presents. He documented his whole trip to Japan, and it was huge, like popular as hell. People watched the hell out of the videos. They're like, wow, John, we love your footage. Would you consider doing gameplay of your own? Would you consider doing projects of your own? And so at that time, John did a few things. He started a series called Games the Series, where he was just playing random games at a gaming store where he knew the employees there. And also with his other friends, off-camera friends who people didn't know. We're doing co-commentary with him. And then after a while, he decided he didn't want to do that he'd prefer to just do gameplay with me, and he went in his own direction on his channel, and he started doing things such as The Show, which is his weekly podcast with OJ, where for about 2 hours, the two of them shoot the shit. They talk about different topics. They do comedy skits. They have guests. They play music. They do all kinds of stuff. It's a 2-hour variety show that I'm very much a huge fan of. And it's funny because when the show started, we're talking some 2 to 3 years ago now, it was just a podcast, meaning there was no video. It was like just...
Remember, we're just talking positive about John to kind of win him back. We're not going to call him, but we're just going to talk positively about us on the show so people know it's not... The ball is in Rambo's court here to get Rambo back on the show. It's not my fault, guys. As you can see, I love Rambo.
We're going for 100, guys. If you could, please like the stream. And, of course, all of the support is greatly appreciated.
You know what I'm saying? So he's saying, like, listen, guys, you see how much I love Rambo. You can hear me. I'm loving him. But I'm kind of waiting for him to respond here, even though we just heard John said you can call me at any time just to shoot the shit, but...
Audio, you could listen to it as an audio show.
Oh, ball court. Yeah. The balls are in his ball court.
Would put up pictures and stuff that would go through, but it wasn't anything you needed to see. You could literally just listen to the show and be doing other stuff, and you missed nothing.
Yeah.
Over the years, John Rambo's The Show has progressed so exponentially, like from being just a podcast to having all kinds of interactive art and things going on, to then having guests on the show, to then having video, and it became a Skype call podcast where you could see video call and see people live on the show, to having all these video packages and things put into it. And then, of course, John, in 2012, when we were working on our own video series called Project 7, John was inspired creatively to do his own thing called Schnozman.
He was inspired creatively? Honestly, my idea for Project 7 started him on his Schnozman quest. Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Punch, which is this show that he's been working on for 2 years and finally, reached completion this past week.
Oh,
it was a lot of effort and work.
Big ups reaching completion.
And I'm going to say this, I am angry.
Oh, please.
Because... John does not get the viewership he deserves. I love his content. I think that the show, in addition to that Schnozman, a Hole Punch, and anything that he puts out on that channel is great. It's gold. It's like, it's not, I would not miss it. I watch everything that
So it's better than his. I mean, Phillip knows it takes way more work than his, and it's better than his content. But because Phillip started before anyone else is doing it, that's why he got popular. That's why he's still popular. And he's saying it right now. That's what he said. That's what he fucking said.
Puts out on there, just like I would watch every episode of a popular television show, or every episode of, or even following a funny comedian and what work they work on. His quality of stuff is that good. Now, keep in mind, he's an individual. He's independent. He doesn't have a studio backing him with millions of dollars so he can have crazy special effects and all that. He learned everything on the fly, and he does it himself.
He does all the stuff that you say you can't do because you're a one-man show. Rambo really was a one-man show outside of the other people acting, and he made all that shit happen, and he learned how to do it all himself. That's why endless more respect for Rambo than DSP, because Rambo learned how to do shit himself, made it happen, loved what he was doing, and just had fun with it. And unfortunately, that's not enough to get money in this world. I wish it was, but it's not. And sometimes the world's not fair because people that don't have to try get the money, as is clearly the case here, which is DSP is explaining right now very clearly.
And the thing that pisses me off is if you consistently look at John's content over the past several years, the stuff that he puts out on YouTube, it's gotten exponentially better, and his views have gotten exponentially worse. When he started with the show, which was just an audio podcast, that thing was getting tens of thousands of views. Now he struggles to even get a couple thousand views on his podcast. I don't know why. Nothing's changed. The quality has gone up, not down.
Well, similar to your views, the YouTube just became a more competitive place, and that kind of old shit that was cool back in the day just wasn't cutting it anymore.
Yet somehow the interest has waned. And a lot of people say to me, Phil, your content, well, you know, you can say 100 things about me, that I'm an asshole, I'm a hypocrite, people hate me, and there's a slander campaign against me, and yada, 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 yada. My view...
Yada, 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 I'm a racist, I'm a sexist, I say racial slurs. Yeah, you can say whatever the fuck you want, okay? I don't care.
Views have gone down.
I'm an asshole, I'm a douchebag. I told my girlfriend, never going to the hospital again, just give her a pill, scam the IRS, scam my socially inept fans. You could say all this stuff. Those are just words.
But not to the point where it's like I get 10% of what I used to. And John, unfortunately, that's what's happened to him. It's bullshit. What the hell happened over there? I have no idea. I've never seen anything where he attacked a fan or there was an argument or he did something wrong. It just seems for whatever reason people gravitated away from his YouTube channel.
Yes,
and
that's the internet. That's the internet becoming more competitive, especially YouTube.
Over the years, he's put so much work into the stuff that he's done. I know for a fact that he put a good 6 fucking months of work into the final episode of Schnozzman and Hole Punch. And right now, you go over there, and of course, was he expecting a ton of views? No. What I would say is it's a success in regards to the people that watched it, loved it.
Yeah, so that's good.
If a couple thousand people watch it and love it, I guess, you know, mission accomplished. But I know for a fact that's his heart, soul, money, and time that was invested in that thing. And he even knew, so much so, that it was, at this point, just for the artistic vision and not for the fact that he was going to get anything monetarily out of it. He didn't even monetize the final episode of Schnozzman and Hole Punch. So he knew from the get-go.
He has no, I refuse to believe this. I refuse to believe this. Why would you do that? I know this is not going to get a lot of views, so I'm just not going to monetize it. For what reason? When you monetize the rest? That's very weird, and I don't believe this is true. Any part of this is true. I know this isn't going to get a lot of attention, so I will not monetize this. What? It got the same amount of views as every other episode. Well, that's not true. The first episode got 37,000 views, and the last episode got 12,000 views. But still, it's not like, you know, different universes.
At this point, just for the artistic vision and not for the fact that he was going to get anything monetarily out of it, he didn't even monetize the final episode of Schnozzman and Hole Punch. So he knew from the get-go that the series over 2 years had declined in viewership so much that it wasn't going to be getting anything significant. And he didn't even bother putting ads on it.
Don't believe
because he didn't want the artistic vision ruined by ads fucking popping up all over his work. So
I can agree with that part, maybe, if I heard that from Rambo's mouth, but he never said that, so I don't know if I believe that, at least to my knowledge. Phillip did rarely promote stuff of John's. Rarely, okay? Just the bare minimum, right? The bare minimum.
John is a hard worker. John is a dependable person. And I really feel that, I don't know from what the cause was, that all of a sudden his viewership, you know, declined like it did over the past couple of years. And I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves. And I feel bad when I get a text like that basically he's saying he's giving up on YouTube. Except for, I know he's going to continue to do his podcast, the show, but basically that he doesn't want to do anything on YouTube. He has to focus on real life work to save up money and be able to move. That pisses.
It's almost like he understands that sometimes you can't just do your hobby for the job, right? And sometimes you got to accept it and move on. Something that Phillip has never been man enough to choose, right? But, all right.
Me off. I hate that because that means that's a creative vision that's been crushed. You know, here's someone who's a very creative person who I know if he had the means to do it, that he could make epic series for the internet, and he can't do it now. He has to go focus on 9-to-5 job because he needs to save up his money. And it's so disappointing, especially because I'm such a good friend of his, that is the
Are you sure about that?
situation. And all I can say is that
by the way, John Rambo, just for the future times, he kept making movies. I know he won an independent film award at some point. So John Rambo kept being a creative person. Yeah, he's got to work a real job, but that's most of the fucking universe has to work a real job. But he's keeping his hobbies alive and keeping his creativity alive. So again, throw more respect on Rambo here.
You know, from my standpoint and my perspective, work-wise, is it a disappointment that John's not going to be in my content anymore, or at least for the foreseeable future? Yes, absolutely. But at the same time, I'm an adult, and I realize that this is John's life and it's serious business, and that if that's his decision, I absolutely 1,000,000% respect it, and I say good luck to him, and I hope that, you know, he has massive success with whatever he's doing, so that he can actually, you know, start making some money. Because YouTube didn't pan out, and that he can do stuff, you know, in his life to improve his life situation.
Imagine your friend, this person you think is your friend, talking about this, man. What the fuck, man?
I am the exception to the rule.
You want to know why John fucking made that video? It's right here.
Start making some money because YouTube didn't pan out, and that he can do stuff, you know, in his life to improve his life situation. I am the exception to the rule. I am the lucky one. I am the one out of the million who tried to make it big on YouTube. I take that back. I didn't try to make it big on YouTube.
Yes,
I just tried to get anything going on YouTube that could possibly work. As a hobby, it blew up. And because it blew up at one time and I was the popular thing, I'm able to make a living doing it today. Even though I'm not the popular thing anymore, I still have enough that I can make a living. But I'm the exception. Okay. Right? I'm the lucky one. And it sucks that someone like John, who has all that creativity, it didn't work out for him, and it's bullshit. And I hate a world where that's not fair. You know what I mean?
What?
It's not fair. It's not fucking fair. And,
so as long as you know that.
and I can understand there's a lot of people that are frustrated, that just like John, who you have creative talent and you can't make it big on YouTube. And
Killer Grooves, no question. Zero question about that. Dude, it's not even close. I know you might say, like, Phillip makes more money, but he doesn't even enjoy the money. I would take John Rambo's life 100 out of 100 than rather be known as a lolcow on the internet forever, right? Think about that. Like, it's not even a question. And remember, it's not, and some people make the mistake. If you take Phillip's life, you are also taking an addiction to mobile games, guys, and alcohol. You can't just get rid of those things with your own current mind. Those come with it. You know what I mean? You can't live. That is hell.
I understand. Because it's bullshit. It's not fair. It's kind of like perfect timing. You know what I mean? And it's perfect timing and luck of the draw. And I was the lucky one. And
flathead.
Millions of people are not. And that's very frustrating to me because, as you know, John was an integral part of my work. John is my friend. I loved having work and friendship involved because it really was a great thing. But I knew when I was making...
See, that's the thing. He said it right there. I want work and friendship involved. See? Because there was no separation. There was no friendship part. There was no friendship. It was just work. So Phillip tried to put those things together, but most people with any kind of social, let's say, radar or social understanding can realize that you need to have their separation there.
This move to Washington, that it had to be done. It was going to be a massive positive. So far, there has been a massive positive. And if anything, the one major negative right now is that, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do stuff with John.
Okay.
From time
you going to call him? He said you could call him.
to time, I'm going to give him a call. I'm going to try to give him a call in the next couple of days. Hopefully, we can catch up.
Okay. He said he's going to call him.
Out what the heck's going on with him. And, you know, if you want to keep in touch with John, definitely check out his YouTube channel, John Rambo Presents, where he's going to be uploading weekly. His podcast and all that stuff is going to be continuing on over there. And I hope, again, I wish him the best, and I hope that stuff works out for him. And I'm going to be keeping in touch with him privately offline. I know this is a huge change for everybody because we were all expecting, you know, this wasn't something that John and I discussed before. It was a completely different story. And apparently there was this epiphany in the past 2 months where he just realized that he can't do YouTube stuff anymore. You know, that's life. It is what it is. So, you know, I just got to move ahead. And no hard feelings whatsoever to anybody. Seriously. How could I possibly have hard feelings for a guy who supported me, who was there for me, who we had a working friendship,
who I underpaid,
and a great business relationship for several years, and it was only that I chose to actively move? How could I be upset that he is moving on and doesn't want to be involved with that YouTube-related content anymore? I mean, I would be such an incredible egomaniac, selfish asshole. You know what I mean? And I'm not. You know, like I said, I love the guy. I wish him the best, and I hope that stuff works out for him.
Okay. Well, if you love the guy, you'll definitely make time to call him, right? Right? Because Big Dog, who says, was the real reason moving across the country and leaving all your friends and family just to save on taxes? There has to be more to this move. Well, Big Dog, I think it was because Phillip wanted to be an adult. And to him, you know, having your own house is an adult thing to do. And then moving away from your parents is an even more adult thing to do. Look at me. I'm a big boy. My parents are super far away. And I think that really is what he thought. That really was important to his self-worth of being an adult. Just like having a girlfriend was very important for him in his... he very much worries how people see him. So he thought, okay, I have a girlfriend. I'm really cool, right? I know, Pocock, I see you saying, take Leanna far from her parents. I don't think he actively made that choice. That might have been a fringe benefit, but I don't think that was like actively something he thought about. I know he didn't want to deal with her family. You're probably true on that, but I don't know if that's actually thinking. And Panda, there could have been a Panda pressure as well, Wilson brings that up. That's something we won't know, because Phillip will never say it now, but did Panda maybe pressure it happening? I don't know. But he did seem he was pretty stuck on buying a new house in the early 2013, 2014, saying, I got to buy a house. And he knew there was, the clock was ticking because the machinima restructuring. While most people would say, holy shit, my job can restructure my contract to make me get lower money at any time. I better not buy a huge house I don't need for two people. Phillip said, okay, no, we got to pick it up because this can happen again. Let's buy it quick while we still can. Which is not a very good thing to do when you're buying a house. That's how you go bankrupt, when you make decisions like that. You know what I mean? It's like, sometimes you get house fever, like, all right, we got to buy a house, and you're just stuck in the ways of, all right, we got to buy a house, and you make it, and that's one of those decisions that you really don't want to fuck up in your life. You know what I mean? Is because that sticks with you, unless you're buying it with cash, which was great for you, but most people can't. And it's a big fucking decision that you're going to live with for the next 30 years, right? So you gotta think about it. And Phillip was instead thinking there was a ticking time bomb. I have to buy it as soon as possible. And then that's what fucked him over. That's why he went bankrupt. It's because, also he didn't have to furnish the whole fucking house. Another aspect of that. But anyways. Big up Shadow Slammer, who says, I just want out wheelchair and no RGB in life, bub. Thank you so much, Shadow Slammer. I wish the best for you as well. Big up, Shadow Slammer. Mike says, this thing married ALT's goal. No, not my girl. That's his girl, Vikes. He has found that girl on Twitter. That's where he found her, Vikes. Jericho TSK says, off topic, why is your name on WPIG also Rambo? This is so stupid. The one thing I would change, which I'm kind of killing right now, I'm kind of happy to kill it, is because, remember, when WPIG started, the whole point of the channel was just to be a That Being Said show, where I would just play random shit, like a radio station, so I was trying to get a radio DJ name, and I don't know why I said Rambo at first. It wasn't connected to John Rambo, I don't think. It's just a stupid thing I said in one of those bits I did, and then I just kept it. It was so dumb. That's why Rambo's dead. The WPIG Rambo is dead. ALT all the time. Yanks Fan 84 said, I thought he left to Seattle for the healing air. No, that was a benefit he found after moving. Yeah, Rambo Bambo McGee. I did it for a bit, and then I kept it going. Anyways, so now we're going to have some more fun, and this fun is called Reading the Replies. Okay? So, I don't know if John would want you to share a personal message he sent to you with all of YouTube. Why so many dislikes? No to co-op with Panda. Well, that Rambo segment was kind of depressing. John really does receive a large amount of views. I feel for John. We deserve better. I think John feels like he was abandoned by Phil when he moved away, therefore doesn't want to work with Phil anymore. John probably feels like he got screwed over by YouTube and the viewers not giving him the credit he deserves. No, remember, see, this is what happens. Imagine you're fucking Rambo and you read that shit. I'm not thinking that. Just because DSP says it doesn't mean I think that. But now that's how he's perceived. People think that. You know what I mean? Ooh, since Smart Guys is made by you and John only, the noble thing to do would be to let the show die until John's return. It wouldn't be the same without John. I agree with you, Theo9220. I don't think it's that. It's not that Theo, though. Anyways. I think John was brave creating something like Schnozman and Hole Punch. I'm sure it has a cult following. My only hope is that you and John continue the series Smart Guys. Maybe you could in some way make it financially beneficial for John to do so. Afraid not, bitch. Think I can give him any of that money? Just retire, Smart Guys. It had its run, but it wouldn't be the same without you and John together. Poor John. Let me go by, let's say, top comments. I know he is hilarious. Okay, anyways. So you get the point. Moving forward positively here. We go to February of 2015. So about 4 months after the video we just played.
And then the final question, ladies and gentlemen, from InBeforeEver06 says, since moving and in hindsight, is there anything that you miss about the East Coast that you did not realize that you would miss about the East Coast?
Yeah, pizza. Pizza, dumb fuck. What else could there be?
Honestly, no. Everything that I miss about the East Coast, I pretty much thought I would. My parents, not being able to see them all the time is obvious. Seeing John Rambo and Howard, being able to do cooperative gameplay with John Rambo every week in our Smart Guy show, being able to even see Howard every once in a while, OJ every once in a while, that kind of...
Okay. You're not friends, though, but...
sucks.
Okay.
Right? And the food. I'll be honest. Italian food, I miss it. I love eating these delicious pasta dishes, these chicken parm, veal parm, the delicious East Coast style pizza that I'm used to. And there's nothing like that out here, and it's very disappointing, and that's what I miss the most. But outside of that, this year, on the East Coast of the United States, one of the worst, if not the worst snow year ever. They had so much fucking snow, and I had none of that. I've had mild weather out here. I didn't have to pick up a shovel.
Dude leaves his house once a week saying having a snowy year is a good reason to move across the country.
To worry about it at all. Ridiculously night and day from when I lived on the East Coast. We're able to go out every Saturday. We don't have to worry about being snowed in and shit. It's too much. It's too good of an improvement. I definitely made the move the time when I needed to. Because if I didn't, and I had that year, this year in snow, and not being able to go out and get games, not being able to even get food or nothing, it would have been a fucking nightmare. And I'm glad that I moved when I did. No, there really hasn't been any unexpected things that I've missed.
Definitely. So the snow, that Connecticut snow, having a snowy year, it's a good thing he moved when he moved. Again, he leaves his house once a week. Okay. Next up, July 2nd, 2015, same year.
Okay. Next question is from WWE fan Scott. He says, why don't you do collaborations with other YouTubers? Wow, if I answered this one a million times before.
Please,
What would I collab on?
Thanks for the membership.
You know what I mean? I actually, right now, might actually have a collaboration in the works.
Uh-oh.
But it will be something that probably won't be a big deal. And outside of that, what would I collab on? You know what I mean? Most YouTubers have their own thing. They have their own group of people that they work with. They have their own friends. It's not like it was me.
Most YouTubers have friends.
Me and 5 other people all decided to break out on YouTube together, and we have our own channels, but then we do our own. You know what I mean?
Most people have friends. What do you think? What can I do? Most people have friends.
The one person who I ever really collaborated with all the time was John Rambo, and he went off and kind of did his own thing. He didn't want to do gaming on his own channel, even though he did a little bit of it. He wanted to do other stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like.
And he said for you to call him at some point, and you also said you would. I hope you did that, right?
You know what I mean? The era of collaboration never really happened for me. Some people, well, there's a bunch of gaming YouTubers. Let me see if they want to do something. It wasn't like that when I started. It was like maybe 10, 12 people who were making money doing this on YouTube, and I was one of them, and I just kind of did my own thing for years.
The collab era of YouTube. Yep, that was a great era. Remember those days?
Years and years.
Definitely.
So, I don't know. Whoever might want to do a collaboration, you know, you can always contact me and we'll see if we can make it happen. But for the most part, gaming, what are you going to do to collaborate? You know what I mean?
Play games together. So many. Gaming is a very collaborative thing. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yep. What can you do in gaming collaboratively is a wild statement. It's wild. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Play games together? Huh? What? What are you going to do? Okay, next up, this is August 19th of the very same year. We are going to watch a bit of the show, and this is John Rambo's show, and he talks about DSP gaming. Okay, you might not have heard this one. This is a deep cut here.
So I wanted to talk about, let's see here. So Phil's name's come up quite a bit, man. I want to bring it up.
Please.
Obviously not doing stuff with them anymore. Haven't in a long time.
Yes,
So it's not really anything new. It's been a long time. You know, there's some circumstances behind that.
No, please.
Only a few people really know what's up. You know,
Can you explain it?
two of them are on this show right now. They know what's up. People, like a guy with an Optimus Prime avatar with the username of Morgan Freeman Sucks 369 posting stuff. You know, you may not know what's going on. I don't remember seeing you. I don't know if you remember seeing this gentleman, Howard.
Howard's on the show, by the way. Big up. So Howard is on the show.
To do stuff. I don't. It's not a specific person I'm singling out. I just made that up. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So,
I don't tend to single out people.
Okay, so you're hearing now John, Howard, and OJ. OJ is the person that was also in Project 7, a little bit of the periphery. He was not really a direct friend of DSP for sure, but, you know, he was more friends with John Rambo, and OJ and John Rambo are still making independent movies to this day, or at least as of a few years ago. All right, but go ahead.
It's an example, okay?
Yeah.
So, oftentimes with the show, I kind of struggle with what should we talk about, what shouldn't be talked about. And it's kind of a fine line, you know. I know I've talked to you, both of you guys, quite a bit about this. And but there's things that we don't discuss, man. Like, for instance, my cock. I don't talk about much about my cock.
Okay.
You know nothing of the size, the texture, or the color. Anything.
So glad you didn't say flavor.
Anything about. Or anything about.
I'm hoping you're talking about that rooster that you have in the backyard.
Exactly. What do you think I'm talking about?
See, I told you. There's sometimes, you know, Rambo does some cringe jokes. We all know that. All right, let's just move forward. There's going to be something here, I promise.
Okay. Just making sure.
Because it really, it provides, you know, it provides nothing to be talking about that. So I believe, you know, some things are personal, and I could tell you things.
They do, don't they?
About this.
Guilty Pleasure Cinema says DSP's old speech patterns really resemble Rambo, and you're right. You are right. That cadence. It's the same cadence. It's kind of crazy. Oh, shit.
And I could tell you things about this, which is a personal situation, but then I'd be perhaps doing the very thing that has pissed me off in the past. So you can make any judgment you may have about me. I'll post any comment you want. I'll gladly take it. I'm a Catholic. I can deal with the guilt. It's fine, you know. Chances are you may not know the whole story. Well, actually, you don't know the whole story.
Can you tell it?
So there you go, man. And as far as Phil goes, I have no ill will towards him. You know, I wish him the best and everything he's doing. I'm just ain't going to be part of his stuff, man. If that pisses you off, you can go on Twitter and make fun of my cock, which I've talked about for the first time here today on the show.
Yeah.
So there you go, man.
Yeah, it's pretty hurtful and to a degree pretty challenging to go online and to have, you know, and I commend you for this, John, for having such a thick skin, because it does get to you after a while when you have people making assumptions as to what's going on when they don't know anything about what happened in the past or what's happening or what your type of mentality is in the future. And what people fail to realize, and one of the guys, I forgot who it was that posted, really, you know, nailed it, was you're the type of person to push the envelope when it comes to a lot of different things. Now, that Pay Me Tons video that you posted was basically just to make fun of people that use Patreon. It didn't mean that you were singling him out.
Like, there's people I know that use it, and a lot of people use it. I keep hearing about it. There's people I follow that use it. And basically what was going on, I was perusing YouTube one day, and I had noticed that, wow, no one's done a parody of this. No one's done it. And you think somebody would have.
Parody Kickstarter all the time.
Yeah. And you think somebody would have, because YouTube's all about, they love parodies, man. You take something that people know, and you kind of change it around. People love that shit. Or if you take two things that people know and somehow combine them that's like monster, man. So my whole thing's like, hey, let's take a crack at this. And it seemed like it kind of made itself, you know, it's got pay in the title.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
The very title has pay in it. As far as comments goes, that's the thing. People say all kinds of things, but I know they don't know. So I can't really take it that hard. And yeah, you could sit here and talk about all kinds of things, talk about personal things. But I think like it's a really poor use of this platform, you know, which is pretty incredible. You can make anything, do anything from your home, sweating.
Yeah, sweating like crazy.
Yes. So
Okay.
to take that kind of gift and just be like, oh, just like shit on something or whatever.
Yeah,
It's not where I'm at, man. It's not where I'm at. So there you go. Okay. Good.
All right. So,
All right.
in summary, people are. It seems like some people online were definitely bitching at Rambo, saying like, "Why don't you get with Phil?" Right? But John Rambo had his own fans as well. So, for example, here's some comments from that Pay Me Tons video, which you know what I mean. You want to see it? It's real short. It's very funny. If you're interested, yeah, fuck it. I talked myself into it. Here we go. Let's watch Pay Me Tons real quick. It's relevant. Hi.
Hi.
There.
My name is John, and I'm special because I upload videos to the internet. But being so important does have its dark side. In fact, it means that my life is much more difficult than everyone else's. While you're following the average path of working a traditional job, attending school, or perhaps both, I'm following my dreams and busting my ass. Talking over video games, posting breakfast pics, and vlogging about movies that I hate.
All right, so real quick. This is definitely about DSP. I don't care what John Rambo says later. He did not have to use the word dark side, and posting breakfast pics, I mean, come on. It was always about DSP, in my opinion. Even though Rambo would say it's not, I believe in his heart of hearts he knows it is. Okay, moving forward positively.
Creative things. And as we all know, creativity is fueled by pure cash. This is why I've opened a Pay Me Tons account. It's an internet website that allows people like me to receive lots of creativity from people like you. Simply log in and transfer the entirety of your bank account into my Pay Me Tons account. I won't even get out of bed for less than $50. And then together, we'll make sure that the world, well, my world, is a much more creative place.
But the world was great writing, though, in that one. The world, well, my world. So this is from those comments 9 years ago, as you can see. John Rambo never screwed DSP. DSP screwed DSP. Good show. That intro, though, cleared every doubt I had about the situation. Holy shit. People knew back in the day. And also the timing of it is very interesting. So let me bring up my old pointer here. You love this. This is DSP's Patreon was opened in February of 2015, which is right here, okay? So, and this video itself was... This Pay Me Tons video, came out in August 5th, 2015, which is, ironically enough, the same month that Phillip deleted all those videos. So we're talking 5 months after DSP opened his Patreon, this video gets made. I mean, you know, come to your own conclusions there, but, you know. Comments are funny, though. And everyone's on Rambo's side, basically. You know. Making fun. A lot of people were talking about her. So he had 14 downvotes at this point 9 years ago. And someone said then 14 people are K Galleon. K Galleon. That's 9 years ago. Everyone knew K Galleon was already DSP's cuck. Anyways, moving forward positively here. Nope, I said it once. God damn it. All right, here we go. October 7th. So we're talking a month after that podcast we just watched.
On Rambo might not always be trying to pay my bills. I'm trying to pay down my debt from moving out here, and things are good, but it might not.
Pay down my debt from moving here. the debt didn't come from the moving there. It came from something else.
Not always be. You know, it was funny when I was doing co-op with John Rambo over the years, right? And people would always say, oh, co-op with Rambo. And then all of a sudden, I'd probably say the final 2 years that John and I did co-op gameplay, people stopped turning out for co-op Saturday. No, it used to be whatever we played was comedy gold and everyone loved it.
Yeah.
We continued to do that formula, and after, several years of doing it, people would stop showing up. And I was saying, listen, guys, it's going to come to an end. Eventually, this is going to come to an end, so don't take it for granted. And a ton of people did.
Don't take it for granted.
It really did. A ton of people did. And what happened? Well, eventually I moved. The co-op ended, and now I constantly hear, why doesn't Phil do co-op with John anymore? Like,
yeah, good
well,
question.
you didn't watch it the past final 2 years that I did co-op with John. I was trying to be as clear as possible to say, this is not going to last forever. Don't take it for granted. If you don't turn out, it's not going to continue. And, it is what it is. I'm just saying.
Whoa. It didn't end, though, because people stopped watching. It ended because you moved and didn't call Rambo back. So this is a bit of a retcon, isn't it? Did it end because of low views, or did it end because you moved and didn't call Rambo back? You've said both. I'm confused.
This is my business. The business is viewer related. And a lot of people, well, I'm not going to watch Phil this week because he's not playing any games that interest me.
Yeah,
it used to be, well, I'm going to watch what Phil plays because Phil makes playthroughs entertaining.
And there's nothing else for me to watch. You kind of forget about that.
To be the reasoning behind it. Now it's like, well, if Phil
there's a fuck ton of other shit for me to watch, so I'm going to go somewhere else.
Plays a game I like, and I understand that. And certainly, I'm not telling everyone to watch every playthrough that I do.
It seems like you
don't
are,
take it that way,
honestly.
And don't take it that I'm not grateful. I'm incredibly grateful for the viewers that I get, for the support that I get.
Sounds like it.
This year with Patreon has been amazing because of it. But I'm just trying to say, don't take it for granted.
Okay.
All right? Because it's not is necessarily going to be on forever. It's just not.
Do I watch everything or don't?
And you have to enjoy it while it's here. There's potential that within 5 to 10 years, I have to go do something else, especially if views are going to decline. This is the hardcore gaming season. This is typically when I get my most attention, and it's not happening. Well,
yes.
Then it's not going to last forever. It's that simple, It used to be that people would watch the content. Wow, that's great. Let me go tell my friends about it. Let me spread the word about it. And it doesn't happen anymore. It just seems like, luckily for me, I started in 2008. I started when this was...
Yo, part 97 of Skyrim just dropped. You better check it out.
Getting big on YouTube, and I do have a dedicated hardcore viewer base who watch everything, okay? And that's great. But the hardcore viewer base is not going to be enough to support me. I'm going to need playthroughs where we get more mainstream attention. Until Dawn was amazing. I played the game. I loved the game. I got the mainstream attention. It translated into views. And, we were great. And then not so much in September. And now it seems like not so much in October. At least got my fingers crossed here that we gained.
Let's check this. I can check the facts on this. What month was that?
It translated was amazing. I'm going to need playthroughs where we get more mainstream attention. Until Dawn was amazing.
When did Until Dawn release? Let's see. Until Dawn release date. 2015 in August. Okay, so August 2015. Oh. Well, yeah, you might have got a lot of views, but they kind of went away after you deleted all those videos, sir. So I can't really tell the result of that because these two gentlemen did something, and then you deleted hundreds of videos erroneously. Oh, not erroneously, stupidly, and can't really tell. But don't worry, they were great. So as you can see here, views are continued to be stagnant during this time, and he's really feeling the burn here because now we are at between 2 and 3 million views a month or something at this point, which is, I mean, it's still great for a normal person, but not when you're used to 5-6 million, even as much as 11 million views at the height. You're starting to freak out.
I played the game. I loved the game. I got the mainstream attention. It translated into views. And, we were great. And then not so much in September, and now it seems like not so much in October. At least got my fingers crossed here that with games such as WWE coming up.
Oh, definitely.
Call of Duty, Fallout 4, that we can at least try to get some of that back. Star Wars, too. I'm a huge fan of the Star Wars Battlefront series. And I played the first 2 games. I'm really looking forward to it. So, I am hoping that all these good games that I'm interested in that I'll be playing will translate. But it's disheartening. The point I'm trying to make here is it's disheartening. It's hard for me when I love to do this, right, on a daily basis.
He's making... Remember what he said about John Rambo? I wish that he could make money for what he loves doing because he has so much talent. Now Phillip's saying... It's disheartening because I'm doing what I love, but I'm not getting money for that. Well, that's unfortunately the truth in this world. Just because you love something doesn't mean you get money for it, right?
Basis, and I wake up, oh wow, it's a great gameplay week. And wow, let's see how the 2 great new games this week did, and I'm like, what the hell happened? Everyone who did watch, enjoyed it. Everyone who did watch enjoyed it. So... don't take it for granted. Check out the content. Spread the word. That's how this continues. Don't take it for granted that, well, I'm just not going to watch Phil for a month.
I love how we're talking to people that aren't watching, too. That's one of Philip's funniest things, is that he talks to people that aren't watching. They're like, man, I don't know where everyone is. You're talking to people that are watching. This 1,250 people. Well, probably half of that's detractors watching it to laugh at it. So you're talking to 500 core people here, but all you're doing is bitching at the thousands that left. You know what I mean? Oh, God, James. Yes, there is, sir. Let me get this playlist for you. It's a 3-parter.
Because, none of the games are jumping out at me. I'll come back in 2 months. It's like, in 2 months I might not be here. I'm just saying. That's how...
In 2 months I might not be here. Whoa, yeah, we're not fear-mongering at all, are we? Big ups. I might not be here in 2 months. Hell, that moves fast. James, that's for you there. I've got the playlist there for you. That's for the fan art copyright saga.
Oh, it works, That's how life works. That's how business works. A business cannot not operate well for 2 months and then expect that it's going to be great in 3 months, And I'll say one final thing and we'll get started because I am digressing.
Yeah. Please,
Some people
please.
say, I wish Phil would just play and not worry about views and not worry about anything and never mention it. He's not, other YouTubers never mention this stuff. Phil does, all right? Number one, that's because the other YouTubers probably have good views that you watch. Let's face it.
Whose fault is that?
If they're not mentioning them, it's probably because they're good. You remember years ago, 2010, 2011, 2012, I never mentioned it.
Yeah, because you're one of the top 100 YouTubers on the platform. It's easy not to bitch about shit when you're one of the top 100 on the whole website.
Because they were good. You don't mention it as a problem until it's a problem, right? And I am an outspoken person, and I'm a person who's honest with my viewership, and I share stuff with you.
Again, so this is what made Phillip become a lolcow. Well, one of the many things, but... when it was all about views, he was already bitching about views, right? He wasn't begging for money because there was no way to give it to him except for Patreon, right? That was kind of the gateway. And then, but we're still bitching every fucking pre-stream about views. Now, we can just bitch directly to the consumer. Consumer of crayons, I mean, in this case. So I could directly bitch at the people, and that's why he e-begs. That's why he turned to e-begging, because it's more direct line. We used to bitch online, about views. Now we bitch about, I need money right now. Right? So, pretty simple. Big ups Logan K, who says, almost 10 years ago, he knew the decline was there. It really puts into perspective what a slow race to the bottom he's on. Exactly. So he knew the decline was on. He starts panicking very heavily in 2014. It's already panic mode. And that's when he decides to move, So he knew it's always been downhill forever. It's always been like that. Now, every once in a while now, because he has the tip method, he gets bumps in, donations from whales, right? But now we're just counting on whales. If any whale decides to dip out, it's code black every fucking day, right? If Iron Chef Sakai, or, Silver Sous Chef Sakai, takes a break for a week, that's going to be the real gold dust, because everything is hinging on him right now. You know what I'm saying? One of those whales dips, it's gone. Not a great business model, but...
that's how I'm different from those other people. I'm not just a scripted personality. You get the real me. And we all have fun. You know what I mean?
Fun? Is this fun?
And some people say, why does Phil have to mention this? Because it's honesty. Because it's truth. And the bottom line is this. There's no business on the planet Earth that can operate and have shitty performance and then expect that it's going to still exist.
Those businesses change their products.
You know? Just because someone has a bakery and they make amazing cakes.
That's, well, and even that is not enough to guarantee money, by the way, just making amazing cakes, which we don't have in this metaphor, by the way. If we're taking it from DSP's mind, we don't even have the good cakes. So we can't do that. But let's do a bakery metaphor. Let's hear the whole thing, and then we'll break it down. We're never going to finish this today. I don't know why I'm pausing so much. There's a lot of shit to say so far. I thought this would be a one and done. It never is.
Just because someone has a bakery and they make amazing cakes.
Yeah,
all
okay.
right, but they have 2 and 3 terrible sales months. Just because they say, well, I'm not going to worry about the financials. I'm not going to worry about the fact that no one's buying my cakes. I'm just going to continue to make great cakes. That's not going to make the business thrive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you do more work to make sure people hear about your great cakes. Well, first of all, you make sure your cakes are great, which we don't have great cakes in this case. And then, if people are not buying, you decide to change shit. You got to figure out what you got to change to make people buy the fucking cakes. It's not begging for more, begging for people to buy more.
It's the same thing here. If I don't mention it and there's no public awareness of it, then it's not going to get better. You can't ignore life problems. It's not how they get fixed. That's not how they work.
So, you know? Just taking this on this logic, what Phillip is doing now is instead of fixing the problems, he's just telling you about the problems and waiting for you to fix it. That's how is that how we take care of problems?
She sucks his dick.
Is that the way to take care of problems in life? That's pretty cool. All right. Well, if you got a problem, you know what to do? Is just complain about it. Do nothing else. Complain. Raise awareness. Thank you, Pennison. That's the right word. Raise awareness with those around you, and then see what happens. And if it doesn't work, pick it up more the next day. Okay, cool. Definitely.
Or life problems. It's not how they get fixed. That's not how they work. You know?
How do they
I address this stuff because it's truth. It's that simple. You know?
I don't get that.
If you like what I do, please watch. Please continue to watch. Please
I'm watching now, sir. What am I supposed to do?
I'm not saying you have to watch every playthrough, but I'm saying give stuff a chance. Don't have that sheepish, pig-headed mentality that unfortunately mainstream viewers have. That if it's not super popular on YouTube, it must not be good. So don't watch.
Now berate the people you're explaining your problems to, by the way. Berate those that you're spreading awareness to, okay? That's also part of this. Keep that in mind.
Watch Phil because he's not super popular on YouTube. Or the flip side when you're talking about the game. Well, not everyone kissed this game's ass, so it must not be good. Regardless of the fact that, you know, Phil usually can make things entertaining. Fuck it. You know, that's the mentality that's unfortunately not going to allow me to have a successful business. So, not like the other YouTubers.
What do I do here?
I've been around before them. I'm here now, doing it my way.
Great way.
All right. So anyway, as I said, I digress. But I had to get that off my chest. I was talking with the stream chat a little bit about it earlier. You know, wait all year for the hardcore gaming season to come. Here it is. Now's the time, you know. Don't take it for granted. I might not be here forever. Just saying, that's life. That's how it works. There may be, you know, you never know when things could change at the last minute or things could go south. And that's the point I'm trying to make here.
Okay. Makes sense. Okay.
Oh, excuse me.
Anything else? You choking on cope? All right. 0 comments because this is the time where he didn't. I don't think he allowed comments. So let's just check. I think let's see. Oh no, we still got more from this very same year. So I was going to check in on the views of this time, but we're still not done this year yet. So all right, October is done. Okay. Well, here's a video, you know, from this shade of black, right? So let's go to the part about smart guys. I think that's where we want to be here. So, smart guys, as this thing gets it. Okay, so
like I said, he's still.
Okay, here we go. Let's go with this. So let's go to when. Remember, we saw Phillip explaining that text, right? So we're gonna start from that part of the story in this case. All right.
And then what does he do? This week he goes and and post this video on Thanksgiving.
So yeah, 2 weeks ago we both got texts like the middle of the freaking night while we're
Middle of the night. I got this text message. It was like 4:30 it was 5:30 in the morning. So that was like, I think it was like 3 in the morning over there, 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I look at it and I talked to John and I said, I really think he's drinking.
Basically, these texts, I'm not going to go word for word because that's what happened to me. I'm not going to do that, but...
Ooh. That's what happened to me. I'm not going to do that. Remember, he's talking about when Phillip read his whole texts. Big ups. We played that earlier today.
Basically, these texts, I'm not going to go word for word because that's what happened to me. I'm not going to do that, but...
Don't do that.
He basically expressed that he wants to kind of work things out.
Yeah.
But he really doesn't because you saw what he did on Thanksgiving. So it was basically like an ultimatum kind of thing. Like, if you don't fucking talk to me, respond to me right now, then I'm going to go publicly and try to fuck you.
Yes.
Publicly.
Yeah.
So you're not really apologetic if you're doing that. You're not really trying to make things right. And you're really not hurt by the situation. Okay? And like, if you and I had a problem, Howie, which you never know.
I know, right?
And I felt really bad that you're not speaking to me. I'm probably not going to make the things worse.
No.
By saying shit like whatever he said, the insults that he said in a public video.
Yep.
Yeah, and
it's almost like he's always got to try to save face. I'm the winner. There's no winner in this situation, man.
And I would try to address it personally versus.
Hold on. I want to make sure I didn't miss something right here. I think I might have missed one in before this one. We'll get back to that, I promise. Okay, I got it. Hold on. November 26th. Hang on. We'll keep listening to this. I'll get it back. There's one before this.
Doing it the way
the one they're talking about there.
He does. And personally, I'll be completely honest with you, John. I really think that he watches too much WWE.
That's
because
true.
It feels like, no, I'm not lying, dude. It feels like, it really feels like he tries to make his channel like that, where it's full of drama.
Correct.
It's all drama,
right,
just to try to create controversy so that he can get more views.
Yeah, and we're feeding into it right now.
Yes.
And we are. We're feeding into it right
like I said, he's still finding ways to monetize us after this time, but...
Yeah.
Let's bring up that. So, WWE, Smart Guys, man, people often ask him, like, are you doing Smart Guys? And they'll just throw me under the bus. Like, it's up to John. It's 100% on him.
Yeah.
If we'll do it. I got some text from him from last summer where he's basically like, let me know when you want to do Smart Guys so I'll start watching wrestling again. So what that says to me is, like, you're not really a fan of it. You don't really watch it. You will watch it if you could make a video about it. And you're going to make a video about it because you want to monetize a video.
Uh-huh.
Right? So it's just really weird, Like I'll start watching when you let me know that we're going to do the show. Otherwise, I'm not going to fucking look at it,
Hold on, I gotta find this video here. Hold on. There's one video that should be before this, and I gotta find it because they're talking about it right now. The one that made Phillip do this, the one that made them do this thing is right here. Okay, so let me do a timestamp real quick. I promise it's worth it. Okay. So is it during this? Is he playing a game here? No, okay.
All right, hello everyone and welcome. Hello, Darkside Phil here. Welcome to today's gameplay stream. Today is Saturday, November 28th, 2015. Sorry for the kind of adjustment of everything that's been happening over the past...
There we go.
A new DSP tries it, and tonight, the tree trimming videos, okay?
Well, that'll be great.
Tomorrow will be more Fallout. I've decided I want to play more Fallout tomorrow. Yesterday was a great stream, by the way. We had a 5+ hour Fallout 4 stream yesterday. We had a few drinks, and so it became a little sloppy by the end, but it was still a lot of fun. And I'm going to be playing more tomorrow on stream. And tomorrow night will be the weekend preview where I'm going to try to explain this week. This upcoming week's going to be kind of...
Can't find it.
Discombobulated a bit because on Monday I'm going to be doing my marathon of Rock Band 4. The Rockathon, yes. That's going to be fun.
Let me see.
But then starting Tuesday, Just Cause 3 comes out. And what I kind of want to do is poll everyone and say, are you interested in seeing me play Just Cause 3? Do you want to see me play it on launch day? I get the feeling people are going to say yes. They want to see me play it on launch day, which is cool. And I'm okay with that. Maybe I could balance Just Cause 3 with the other stuff that I'm already doing, like Fallout 4.
Okay, I found
maybe
it.
some
Yes,
more
I'm a legend.
WWE,
Okay, I got it.
and possibly more
Sorry
Tomb
about
Raider.
that. Sorry
And some
about
people
that. Here we go. Here we go. I found it. This is what caused John and Rambo to make this.
But what's up with you and John Rambo? Did you have a falling out? Is it because you two are far away? I'd like to hear your thoughts on the matter. Thank you.
So this happens 2 days before the video we made. We just watched before John Rambo and Howard made that video. Okay, 2 days beforehand. All right. Big ups, James says thanks for the content. Thank you so much, James. Oh, also become a member. You're a legend, James. And Farfig Nugan says, ALT, do you think he sees these streams and realizes that there's so many more laughing at him than not? I think he already knows that, but he thinks we're all mouth drooler idiots. And one thing that, that being said, and WPIG try to do is to show that we're not mouth drooling idiots. We just enjoy watching the stupid shit that he does, and we're not actually crazy, but, And he definitely, I'm sure he has seen that being said once or twice. You know what I mean? All right, let's go.
The bottom line is this.
Hey! Oh, God!
I will be completely 100% honest with you. And, people will probably try to make shit up or say they don't believe me because they want to believe drama queen shit.
Go ahead. Yeah.
The bottom line is this.
Oh, God!
When I lived in Connecticut for years, John and I did co-op commentary, co-op gameplay. We did this show Smark Guys. We traveled together. We did Street Fighter gameplay together. We did a lot of stuff, projects and everything together.
Oh, God!
In all of that time, all right, in all of the time that we did that stuff together, I could think of maybe 1 to 2 times ever that we ever had a disagreement on something. And even then, it was something that was minor and that was handled quickly. And it wasn't that we ever let it get to the point where business would hinder friendship. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of the big risk that you take when you go into business with someone.
Look at Phillip on the bottom right, puts both methods of the tweet name. Look at that.
Yeah, it might negatively affect
he has the full URL and then the they call me DSP just in case you need it.
Relationship that you have the person outside of the business. And even though we treated the whole YouTube thing that we did together as like just a casual silly thing, there was money involved and there were other factors involved. The bottom line is never in that entire period of time before I moved out of Connecticut did I ever get any, ever have any ill will or feelings toward John. Never did he have any real major ill will or feelings towards me that I knew of. He never said anything about money. He got paid for everything that he was involved in. He never said anything about money or anything like that. And we had great agreements that were going on. And
we had great agreements that were going on.
When I left Connecticut, where we left...
just in case, he actually had to ask Phillip for extra money when he broke down his car, when his car broke down, he had to ask Phillip directly for extra money for that from the Project 7 money because he didn't have enough to cover for that. But yeah, so there was problems with money or issues with money from time to time. But okay.
It at was that I was going to move here. It was going to take me a couple months to get set up everything with work or whatever, but I was going to contact him in early fall, let him know when I was fully up and running again, and that I wanted to continue to do stuff, whether it was Smark Guys via Skype and gameplay, cooperatively over the internet. And obviously John didn't have a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One, and we were going to try to coordinate it and figure out what could he or couldn't he do for gameplay. Would we do stuff last gen? Would there be other stuff? We were going to figure it all out, okay? And that's where we left it. Now John came, he helped me pack all the stuff up. When I was leaving in June of last year, he came and helped pack up and helped me move out of my place in Connecticut.
Seems like a nice thing to do.
And we stayed in contact. I talked to him via text a lot. We were talking about different things going on with the move. I talked to him about TV shows and stuff going on. I was asking him about what was going on with Schnozman a Hole Punch, and we stayed in contact regarding that. And
okay, so you hear that's a little bit of change of story from the first thing we heard. The first thing we heard today was Phillip saying he saw that Schnozman and Hole Punch was done, so I sent a message saying, what's going on with our stuff? That's what he said earlier. Now, of course, that story has changed, but that's what he said. And also, Rambo said, if you want to give me a call at night, please do. That also didn't happen, clearly.
The way we left it was that later in the year, once he was done with Schnozman and Hole Punch, we were going to talk again about the possibility of coming back together and doing, content over the internet again.
Okay.
And then in late 2014, finally we had a conversation. He says, listen, I'm going to make this abundantly clear, so there's no misconceptions. At this point, I'm kind of burnt out on the whole YouTube thing.
This is the message we already heard him explain once, okay? So he's explaining it again. Let's see how this story changes as well.
I really don't even want to put a lot of effort into my stuff. I put all this effort into Schnoz Man a Hole Punch, and that's really where I exerted all of my effort, and that's what I focused on, and that's really all I really care about at this point. I mean, it was cool that we did all the YouTube stuff previously, but I don't really care to be, involved with anything from your YouTube channels at this point, and if that changes, I'll let you know. Okay, fine. I won't even, great. I won't even bring it up if you don't, right? There's no reason for us to really bring it up or anything.
Notice he didn't mention the part about call me, I'm available most nights.
Further. And now I remember as last year progressed even further, I would text him, and every once in a while he would text me back. It was like we were almost losing touch. We didn't have as much contact. Now, if you remember, traditionally I would be on John's podcast.
I was super hammered for all those, and yeah, sometimes he wouldn't respond. It's kind of sucks, but...
For the Black Friday episode.
Hey, guy. Here, I'll type one of his messages. Yeah. That's the message he sent. I found one of them, actually. That's an official message I saw. This one. I found it. That's official. I just found it.
He would have like a special Black Friday episode where they go through ads and stuff about Black Friday. And last year in particular, I hadn't heard from him, so I actually texted him and said, FYI, John, I'll be available if you want me to be on, but I haven't heard from you yet, so I'm assuming maybe you don't want me to be on or whatever. That's fine. And he'll be available if you want me to be. Last year in particular, I hadn't heard from him, so I actually texted him and said, FYI, John, I'll be available if you want me to be on, but I haven't heard from you yet, so I'm assuming maybe you don't want me to be on or whatever. That's fine. And
oh, God! I never remember that. Dude, I see you're doing a special podcast. I'm available if you want to have me. Oh, God. Didn't even respond. Get felted. Hey, John, FYI, I'm available.
Be available if you want me to be on, but I haven't heard from you yet, so I'm assuming maybe you don't want me to be on or whatever. That's fine. And he never really responded. I didn't really hear from him much. I wished him a Merry Christmas later that year. He did respond to that. And then less and less I heard from him. It wasn't like there was any argument, there was a falling out or anything. None of that happened.
Ooh, Crazy Poro says DSP revealed Leanna had friends at work. Uh-oh. Are those the ones we did have? There is one picture, oddly enough. It's very odd. With Leanna having two friends at the dinner table in their house in Washington. It's very strange.
Thanks for the membership.
But there is one that exists. I'm sure that's them. Big ups, Hamster. Legend.
So if anything actually happened behind the scenes with John or Howard or whatever happened with the people back in Connecticut, right, who I used to do stuff with all the time, it's 100% on their end, and it was never actually brought to my attention at all. So I am completely in the dark in this situation. What ended up happening was
very normal thing to say, by the way. Very normal. I am 100,000,000% straight. I am not homosexual. I love women. Totally. There was nothing about those sexy penises that I enjoy.
I appreciate that. We did continue to once in a while contact John on stuff, and sometimes he would respond and sometimes he wouldn't. And I actually remember the last major time that I actually had any kind of interaction with John Rambo was in early 2015. He launched the DVD, the Blu-ray release of Schnoz Man a Hole Punch, and when he did release it, I retweeted him. I let everyone know, gee, you should maybe buy some of this. I bought a DVD myself, and he even signed it. I guess every DVD he sold, he signed it, and he actually wrote on there, thanks for all the good times that we had together. John. So that was the signature.
Oh, God. Can you imagine how much gin has been consumed holding that DVD? Oh.
bought a DVD myself, and he even signed it. You know, I guess every DVD he sold, he signed it, and he actually wrote on there, "Thanks for all the good times that we had together." You know, John. So that was the signature he put on the DVD. Does that sound like anything negative? No, that sounds great. Like he's like, you know, it sucks that we don't do stuff together anymore because you moved, but thanks for the good times we had.
Oh my
That's
God.
like he wrote.
Can you imagine extrapolating that? It's a nice message. Look how much he's extrapolating from that. Thanks for the good time. Yeah, if you can see, that's what this means. It means, yeah, sorry you moved across the country. We can't do the co-op anymore, but thanks for the good time. That's what it means, clearly.
You know, it sucks that we don't do stuff together anymore because you moved, but thanks for the good times we had. That's literally like what he wrote on the DVD. And then after that, I have no clue. I've not heard from John since then. He doesn't ever write me. He doesn't call me.
That's actual snood comment. Have a great summer. She loves me. She told me to have a great summer. Yeah, that's what the girl says. I missed you. Could you call me back? Oh, so you missed me. Oh, okay. Well, how long have you been missing me?
He doesn't text me, nothing. And I did try actively to contact him and talk to him over the course of the year, and basically I heard nothing whatsoever from John Rambo at all since then. So I have no idea what happened, if something happened in particular that turned him off or got him angry at me. The bottom line is it's never been brought up. And I'm going to say this, and I hope that people...
We already played the video where he said, hey, I'm available most nights if you want to give me a call. Phillip was so kind to read that entire message out for us. So, you know, that's just... John said, please give me a call. So it doesn't seem like John wanted the relationship to end. He said, give me a call at nighttime, man, anytime you want to talk. But that never happened. So now we need to make sure everyone knows it's John's fault, not DSP's fault.
People don't take this the wrong way.
Oh, please,
but in life, if you have something that you want to say, or you have an issue with someone, all right, say it. Bring it up. Hash it out. Don't let resentment build up behind the scenes for whatever amount of time or whatever, because that's what happens. Is then if something happens.
So assume they have no social skills at all. Assume they can't understand any sort of social cues, suggestions, anything that's not exactly directly what you mean. Don't do that. Because I don't pick up on that. And John was a little bit too soft with me, and I couldn't understand things that most people would understand in 3 seconds. I didn't get that.
You don't bring it up, and you let resentment build up. That's when relationships get ruined, right? And the bottom line is, did I ever hear or even get wind of anything negative from John or Howard or anyone from that camp who I used to do stuff with in Connecticut until I moved? No, not once. And in fact, we even had remember that we had the big going away party in June of last year, and they all came. They were all there. We had fun. We had a blast together.
I want to remind you that Howard would later say that DSP said, dude, if you don't come, it kind of solidifies the fact that we're not friends. Threatened him with that. Imagine saying that here. Imagine that. Look, they were at my party. We were friends.
Remember that we had the big going away party in June of last year, and they all came. They were all there. We had fun. We had a blast together. We were drinking. We were playing games, eating, having a lot of fun.
Okay, so I think it's worth it to cut to this after. Remember, this is the video that was made 2 days after the one you just saw. I want to play that part because that's why it's still in your mind, okay? Let's see. Where's the party? Understand the other party's view on it. Okay.
So there's a situation that goes down where it involves, of all things, Howard, Mario Party.
Oh, God.
Involving Mario Party. So people were
this is not
going
that
out
one.
there and saying, you know, because we were doing a lot of co-ops, so they're like, we want to see you play Mario Party with John.
Hold on. John is friends of mine. Where's that part about? I think he said going away. They're friends. Oh, here we go. Got it. Right here. Okay.
So I thought that I saw me, doesn't ask me how I'm doing. I said, listen, I'm just going to go, I'm going to end up going just saying the guy's leaving with something.
Here we go, right here.
And I told him, I'm like, dude, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. I got some stuff going on and this and that. And basically,
this is about the going away party that Phillip had before he left Connecticut.
He makes me feel like shit. because he writes back. He goes, "Well, if you don't show up, it just basically solidifies the fact that we're not friends."
Wow.
And dude, he made me feel like shit. Like
really
seriously,
cool.
like shit.
Really cool.
Yeah. So what I said was, I was something I had to do with Jasmine. And I told Jasmine, I go, "Listen, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna end up going just saying the guy's leaving, and whatever." So we go. We do our playthrough or whatever, right? So he goes ahead after the fact, never sends me a text message, doesn't call me, doesn't ask me how I'm doing.
From when he moves.
From when he moves. So
Okay, so you hear how he got, you hear how he manipulated Howard to going, right? I'm going to read it one more time. He said, if you don't show up, it basically solidifies the fact that we're not friends. So let me hear how does Phillip describe that again?
No, not once. And in fact, we even had we had the big going away party in June of last year, and they all came. They were all there.
Because you guilt tripped them into coming.
Fun. We had a blast together. We were drinking. We were playing games, eating, having a lot of fun.
Doesn't really mean much when you guilt trip someone into doing something and then say, "Yeah, they were here. Come on, huh?" That's kind of fucked up, actually, isn't it?
And it was like nothing's wrong.
Yeah, nothing's wrong, because you said if you don't come, it solidifies the fact that we're not friends, like a little bitch. And anyone you have to say that to, you should realize is not your friend anyway, right? So anyone that says that to you, I'm saying. Because, imagine, people have real life shit, and he has to do something with his wife, and he has to say to his wife, sorry, I gotta go, this dude, That's not really cool, man. Yeah, one of the most manipulative things he's done. And now he's kind of like saying it's a reason that shows that they still like him.
And then all of a sudden, once I moved, it was like, that's it. Well, Phil's gone, so now he's out of our lives. It almost feels like to me like they're saying, well, he abandoned us. We used to do all this fun stuff together. He's not here anymore, so now we're mad at him or something. I don't know. But it is, again, it's speculation. Anything that I could possibly say about a John Rambo situation is pure and utter speculation, because I've been completely in the dark over the whole situation since it began, if it even began. So that's why people want to start all this fucking shit, right? All this drama and controversial shit. They must have had a disagreement about money. Phil must have revealed something really personal or something. Nothing ever happened. At least from my side, zippo. I was never contacted, never told, never ever got an inkling that there was something wrong. So if there was anything that ever went wrong between my relationship with John or Howard or anyone back in Connecticut, it's on their side. They let it build up. They let the resentment build up on their side without ever speaking up. And I hate to say it, but in real life, if you're mature, if you are a man, you will speak up about an issue. You will not let it linger and resent and build and fester into some kind of a negative thing where you don't want to talk to someone again, and then you're going to even, at some points, talk shit about them and stuff. See, I would never do that. Because I have no reason.
What are you doing right now?
To talk shit about people who I have always had a great relationship with. So for me,
I've always had a great relationship with them. Why would I talk shit about them? You're blaming them for everything right now. Seems like you're kind of making them be the bad guys here, aren't we? Which is why they made a video, as you can see. Imagine John sitting there watching this shit. You're like, all right, fuck it, man. I'm not trying to feed this drama shit, but we got to say something. I can't let this stand.
No clue if there's any negativity, any resentment. I have no idea, and I'm still in the dark to this day. So that's why when people ask me straight up, what's up with John Rambo? I say, ask John Rambo, because I have no clue. I'm literally in the dark. Nothing was ever brought up, and unless John kept mailing me letters and they went to a dead address, but he didn't realize it, so I didn't know he had a problem with me. No, obviously I'm just being silly. No, it just never happened. So I have no idea.
Reminder. He read out the email saying, I'm available most nights if you want to give me a call. Rambo said that to Phil. One of the first videos we played today. But, okay.
I'm literally in the dark. That's the bottom line. That's the whole situation. There is no situation. I don't know. And it's a shame. It's a shame because that was a long-standing relationship that I had. The mid-2000s, I met John, and whether we're a Street Fighter or us just doing other stuff on YouTube, I always had a blast with him. So I don't know what his problem is, and
we're gonna find
I have no control over it. He doesn't talk to me anymore. He won't even respond. If I text him or call him, I don't get anything back.
We're going to find out.
So from my situation, from my perspective, it's not even a relationship anymore. It's over, and it's 100% on him because I had nothing to do with it.
I had nothing to do with it. Okay, well, that's perfect. If anything, I always figured the figuratively the literal space between y'all. This sucks mighty bad. Here's to hoping you start talking to each other again. Oh, here's to hoping you all start talking to each other again. DSP says, I never stopped talking to John. He just stopped responding. And then apparently had a grudge I had no idea about, which led to him doing stuff on the show that I guess was negative towards me. That means pay me tons. As I've said, he chose to stop talking to me and responding to my messages, and all the negativity is on his side alone. It's not that we started talking to each other again, because I never stopped. It's totally on him. That was responding to Kekken, by the way. Let's see if there's any more DSP responses here. Okay. Some people are just listen to John Rambo's spots. Sorry your friends turned into haters. Why did you move so far? Not to be rude, but I think if you didn't move so far away, you and John would still be doing stuff together. Look at this. So many people are pigmentized. Best option. Compared to the other places when he went house hunting, this place where he lives now was the better of the options. DSP is such a liar about John. Because John Rambo exposed him all the lies he told. With that, along with DSP's history of treating his fans like garbage, sorry, an hour-and-a-half long video of them lying sounds a bit crazy. Clearly, DSP treated them like shit, and DSP is too much of a bitch to own up to it. All he is gonna do is probably block me from his channel anyways. That's not wrong. Anyways, as you can see. All right, well, let's go back to it now. Now we got DSP's side. And let's go back to John and Rambo's response, okay? So I think this is a good point to start from, okay?
Goes ahead after the fact, never sends me a text message. Doesn't call me, doesn't ask me how I'm doing.
From when he moves.
From when he moves. So from that point, I sent him a couple of text messages here and there. And
yeah.
I'm going to go into something, John, because this basically goes in line into what we were talking about.
Yep.
So I sent him text messages, some random ones, Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving. It doesn't reply back. So
it seems like Howard was reaching out to DSP. Go ahead.
I thought that he changed his number.
Okay, so he moves in June.
Yeah.
You never hear from him again, basically.
So I never hear from him again. So
after him saying to you, if you don't come here, then you're solidifying that we're not friends.
Yes.
We're not friends,
but
right?
then he moves and there's no communication at all.
So December 29th rolls around last year.
Yeah, 2014.
In 2014, and I get a message from Chris and a few other people
I did too.
That Scott passed away.
Yeah, I start getting messages from Chris, and you called me as well.
Yep.
So you should set it up because it has to do with the Street Fighter community.
It has to do with the Street Fighter community.
Which is a group of people and we don't talk every day to everybody.
Yep.
But it's a group of people that is kind of like a brotherhood, if you will. It might sound silly, but that's what it is to us. It's a brotherhood of people.
You get it.
Spend a lot of time together playing games and traveling and whatnot.
Yeah, you get it.
And when something like this happens, everyone contacts each other and we talk about it.
And we talk about it. So
one of the brothers has fallen.
Yeah. So basically, Scott, and what people fail to realize is Scott is a very old school player. Old school player in the sense the guy was playing since like World Warrior. Mm-hmm. And he's the true fucking road warrior.
True OG.
True OG, to the point that, just to throw this out there, if you guys, if anybody that's on this video ever goes and looks this up, the video of Daigo going from the first time Daigo ever showed up in the U.S., and this was for an Alpha 3 tournament in the 90s. Alpha 3 or Alpha, I think it was Alpha 3. Mm-hmm. And he flies from Japan, and the Japanese media are following him around, and this is when he was going to play in this tournament, and he fought, his opponent was Alex Valle, when Alex Valle was in his like teens.
Okay.
In the video, if you look in the video, fucking Scott's there. Now Scott fucking went from Connecticut to fucking California to play Alpha 3. Okay? Yeah. He's a fucking OG. Yeah. He doesn't play anymore, but you got to give the guy respect for the accomplishments that he made in the Street Fighter community for the area that we live in.
Okay.
So the guy passes away, right? So what do? I sent him a message.
And you're the only one, by the way, because I wasn't going to contact Phil because I wasn't talking to him at this point. Yeah. Nobody else wanted to talk to him. But Howard here, who hasn't heard from Phil at that point many months since he moved, you decide I'll be the one to tell Phil.
Yeah, so I sent him a message, and I didn't say anything hi or anything like that. The only thing, because the last time I did that, he didn't reply back to me. I said, hey, Scott passed away. That's all I wrote. Mm-hmm. Doesn't reply back to me. Then, this is what fucking burns me, okay? Yeah. This shit fucking burns the fuck out of me. What does the guy do? A week or two later, makes a video about Scott passing away. Dude, don't fucking publicize somebody's death. Are you fucking serious? You don't do that, man.
And the bigger issue is, like, he never said anything back to you.
Doesn't say anything back to me, but dude, don't publicize.
Oh, thanks for the information. I'll put this in video, but I'm not going to say nothing to you.
Not only that, what does he do? He brings up T, right? Now, T at the time was like one of the greatest Street Fighter players in our area. If he was alive, he probably would have been one of the top players in the country.
Okay? And he starts fucking talking about this guy, right? So what does that do? Naturally, in our circle of friends, everybody is fucking fuming because there was no need to bring up T. There was no need to bring up Scott. There's no need to bring up people's deaths and publicize it and make money off of it.
Oh, he was doing a podcast, though, Howard.
No need for that, man. And he did.
All right, I'm going to make sure this part is normal speed.
You have no respect for people that are alive, for fucking people that are dead. You don't give a shit about anybody but yourself.
Oof.
So there you go.
This is what dude, if one of my friends died, I wouldn't be making a video about it. I wouldn't be publicizing.
And remember, Philip's response to this was, Howard, we're not friends. We weren't friends, Howard. Why are you saying any of this? To discredit what Howard is saying here. But that doesn't take away the facts of what Howard's sharing. Just because you think you weren't friends with him, but you were friends enough with him to say, if you don't come to my going away party, it's going to cement the fact that we're not friends. But then later you are very proud to say we're not friends. Oh, that's definitely cool. That makes a lot of sense.
Their death?
Yeah.
It's terrible, man. Terrible.
Yeah, it's dirty business, man.
It's dirty.
It's dirty.
After that, I don't fucking talk.
That was it for you.
That was it for me, man.
Yeah.
That was it for me.
Okay. Yeah, that'll do it. Jeez.
I'm sorry for being so angry about it, but this burns me, man, because it's things like this that we should even be avoiding.
Yeah.
All right, moving forward, let's go to Rambo's side here.
His whole thing will be to retort to you. His response will be that, you should have told me that you feel it, but you did. Yeah. It's like, it's back to the apology thing. You could tell someone so many times. Yeah. Right? And they apologize, but they keep doing the same behavior over and over. Oh. At a certain point, you realize this is who they are. They're not really apologizing. They're not really going to change.
So it seems like what Rambo's saying here, that they did tell Phillip things that they didn't like, and Phillip apologized for those things. But yet, remember, Phillip is telling us that they didn't say stuff to him directly. Well, then what were you apologizing for if you didn't say anything? If you didn't do anything wrong, what are you apologizing for at all? And I don't give a shit what you say about John Rambo here. I don't think he's lying about this. He seems like he's gotten quite a few apologies from Phillip about different stuff. So much so that he felt strong enough to say this. All right.
No, this is how it is, and you have to make the decision. Like, do I want this in my life or not? You know, which is affecting you in a negative way.
Yeah, it affected all of us in a negative way. And I'm at a point in my life, I'll be completely honest with you, where I'm getting older, and I'm starting to realize things more and more. And one of the things that I cherish in my life now are the people that are around me, man.
Absolutely. I mean, what else is there?
That is what I cherish.
That's all that matters, man.
I don't care about games. I don't care about, about what I have. That doesn't.
If you had millions of dollars right now, but you had no one around you, you had no family or friends, but you had all the money, what is that a good life?
No, it's not.
I don't know.
Ooh, that's a direct hit. Direct hit.
That doesn't.
If you had millions of dollars right now, but you had no one around you, you had no family or friends, but you had all the money, what is that a good life?
No, it's not. I
don't know.
It's not.
Yeah.
He moves away, which, like you said, at this point, it's your decision. We support you.
Absolutely.
Hope you do well in your endeavors.
I hope everyone does well.
But what happens? He leaves and he doesn't contact us. And the only reason and I hate to say this, it feels like the only reason he contacted you, John.
I get contacted.
Yes.
I'm not going to say you were not contacted.
But why does he contact you? It's not because he wants to see how you're doing. It's to do playthroughs so he can make money.
Yeah, we'll get into this. So let me speak on this a little bit. Yes, so going back to his Thanksgiving video, he says there's a lot of rumors about why we're not doing stuff.
This is the video. This is the video we just watched.
He goes, it's definitely not about the money, and it's not about me revealing something personal. It's definitely not that. But it could possibly be that I just moved and they're resentful about that. So it could be that one, I guess, because that doesn't make him look bad in any way. You know, well, it's funny. So
Got him.
anyway, he moves.
It could be that.
What he told me is in a couple weeks, when he's settled, he's going to contact me and we start doing stuff. So a couple weeks go by, he starts contacting me about things, and quite frankly, he's being pushy about it a little bit.
Okay, pushy.
I need to, let's do it. When do you want to do it? This weekend? What time this weekend? Is getting really kind of hammering out a date, kind of pressuring. And I think at one week we even had a date to record something, but I canceled on him because I was going through a very difficult period at this point.
Makes
And
sense.
I had every intention and desire to do stuff with him at this point. I had basically destroyed myself, Howard, as you know. I talked to you about it. And that's not me complaining, because being a man, if you're talking about being a man, I feel like being a man is you make choices and then you deal with the consequences, right?
Yeah.
You don't run to complain online or cry about what the world owes you all these things. You deal with what you got to deal with, man.
Yep.
So I basically had a lot.
All right, 1.5.
I basically had a lot happening. I had really run myself into the ground, sacrificing a lot of things. Doing his content too. I was working on the episode, Strasman Hole Push episode 9. There's a lot of work. I was doing stuff with Phil as well. And like I said, my job's I'm an independent contractor. I work in real estate. You have to go out on your own and do things to find work. Like you don't just show up for 8 hours and you get the check. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing a lot of real life things because I was sacrificing to make.
All right, so to recap, we can't watch the whole thing. So, in short, Rambo took a sabbatical from his shit. Shazman Howell Punch put him in a lot of debt. He took time off for the internet, went to a fucking mountain to disconnect for a while, and then he finally does an episode of the podcast. Now, what was Philip's response to that podcast coming out?
In August 13th, it comes out, which is a Wednesday. And I'm pretty burnt. I immediately decided I'm going to go on vacation for a couple of days.
Yep.
So I go to Twitter and I say, thanks everyone for watching the episode. I'm going into the woods for a while. I'll be back soon.
Okay.
So I did put a message. I didn't contact him and say, the episode's up, because, like I said, there was an agreement that we talked about where I said, when I'm ready to do stuff, I'll let you know. It should be soon. But the episode comes out. I put on Twitter. I'm going away. He noticed.
So John said, hey, when I'm ready, I'll send you a message, right? That was the last thing at this point.
He says, well, I'm gone. He notices the episode comes out. So while I'm away, he starts throwing me messages again. I'm not around to respond to them. So that weekend, he makes a video, one of his videos that he puts out. He says, I've been trying to reach John, but he won't respond to me. Okay? I come back from my trip. I got messages from him. I got messages from other people saying, why the fuck won't you talk to Phil? Phil's upset. And I'm kind of pissed about that, Howard.
Yeah, you should be.
So I'm kind of pissed about this. I don't contact him. I basically say, look, I'm going to keep holding him to what I said weeks ago, which is when I'm ready, I'm going to do stuff. I will contact him. The following week, I get more messages. They
Next
mostly
week?
are like, how are you doing? And then as soon as you say good, then immediately goes right into the videos. You know what I mean?
Hey, how are you doing, John? Well, I'm doing good. Okay, videos.
Like that kind of thing. It's like a setup and then videos. Are we going to make the videos? Let's do some videos. We tell people
Really
we're
cool.
making videos. Let's
Really
do some
cool
videos.
guy.
I don't respond to any of these messages because, like I said, I'm in kind of a bad spot. The episode had come out. Now I'm kind of like, all this time is kind of freed up. So I'm piecing my life back together, putting things back together. And I got things going on that actually matter beyond making videos with him. Okay? So I eventually get a message from him in the middle of the night, Howard. And it wakes me up because I'm sleeping. And I'm pissed off because I have to work the next morning. So I believe I woke up, I'm pissed off, go back to sleep. I remember waking up the next morning and very quickly responding to this in a very nondescript text response, which was basically, please count me out for a while. I'm looking to move. I'm trying to get money together to move. YouTube isn't going to help with that, which is in reference to doing stuff with him.
Yep.
Okay, because my stuff that I was doing isn't monetized, and I'm not looking to, I wasn't looking to make money with that as my creative outlet.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm around most nights. Please call me.
That's the message he read word for word.
Okay. So Howard, I'm thinking the next day, Phil will call, right?
Yep.
Because I basically expressed I'm having a tough time. And I said, please call me. So I'm thinking the next day is I'll get a call and we'll talk about things. What I would have told him was, hey man, I need maybe 2 or 3 months to get my stuff together, to get healthier and actually go to work and undo some damage, which is, again, I did by choice. I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
But instead what happens, Howard, is I'm going about my business the next day. I get a text from the area lord.
Uh-oh.
And he says, sorry to hear about what happened. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, I'm sorry to hear that you're leaving YouTube. And I start getting other tweets from various people with similar sentiments.
Wow.
So I go, what the hell's going on here? So I go right to his channel, and I see that Phil did not actually call me. He instead made a video a monetized video, by the way, where he publicly reads the text out loud.
Yep. We watched that today already.
Reason.
Uh-huh.
He goes out to give me a bunch of compliments and then kind of buries me after that, which is a weird mixture that he likes to do sometimes. It's okay if I speak negatively because I complimented you first, so it's okay, right? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
He does the same thing where he goes, I'm going to be honest with everyone. You know, that usual spiel. He talks about how John's giving up on YouTube, doesn't want to do stuff on YouTube anymore. He kind of implies like I'm upset about views, I'm not getting enough credit or views or money, and very far from my feelings on things.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I don't think I ever. It's really hard to make.
Oh, there we go. So we played that video once before. Remember, he insinuated that John didn't like how he wasn't getting enough views for that, even though, remember, like I said at that time, I doubt John ever said that. This is John now telling you he never said that.
He kind of implies like I'm upset about views, I'm not getting enough credit or views or money, and very far from my feelings on things.
That's awesome.
I don't think I ever. It's really hard to make the argument that I tried to make a living on YouTube or I tried to make money on YouTube. Okay, the stuff I put out is not going to reach a lot of people. It's not really possible. It's a two-hour podcast, which is weird. It's a web series that's weird. It's very different than taking a video game that millions of people know about. It's advertised and doing a playthrough. People can find you in a search. And like for my stuff, I know what the ceiling is. Like the first Shazman Whole Bunch episode, however, is like 20,000 views.
Yeah.
That's my ceiling. It's not 200,000, 2 million, 20,000.
Yeah.
I then spent the next 3 years making more of those, knowing what that ceiling is. It's never a
Very cool.
goal
See?
to get fame or money.
See, that's one thing that Phillip will never understand is that some people do things just because they want to do it, because they like making stuff. Phillip ties everything to making an income and having enough money to make a living, right? So John is telling you right now, very matter-of-factly, he knew his ceiling was 20,000. That's not enough to live, but he still kept making episodes and spending a fuck ton of money to make those episodes because he just liked doing it, right? Everyone has things they like doing that don't make money. That's one of the things that John liked doing. Phillip cannot understand that. So that's why he made all those assumptions up about John Rambo, which he might have believed in his own mind, honestly, right? Why would you do YouTube if you can't make money? I'm guessing that's what he really thought. But John Rambo is telling you that's not the case.
Like, this is what I like to do. This is what I want to make, The show, we've done, almost 200 episodes. We know what the ceiling is.
Yeah, exactly.
So I get all these messages from people saying, I always liked your content. Sorry to hear you're leaving.
Wow.
In the same video, he talks about how he's the exception. He's I'm the one in a million that can do this, that can make it. Well, congratulations, man. Again, we don't make the same type of content. And he refers to himself as the realest motherfucker on the internet when he's spewing misinformation.
The realest motherfucker on the internet while spewing misinformation. And also playing a character, double style.
Could have just called. And by the way, Howie.
Yep.
He has never actually called me to this day, which is 15 months later. Well, maybe 13 months. He's never actually called.
Yeah.
And in this video, he said, I'm going to call him.
Oh,
He's
come
never
on.
actually called me.
Well, that was a Raz.
Yeah. Now, do you want? I don't know. I just. Why don't you roll into the next bit?
All right, hold on. So
yeah,
I feel like as a friend, you would call and you say, what's going on? Is there something I can do to help you out? Which is what you did.
Yeah.
We talked, right?
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And you would check in once in a while.
I call John maybe once a week just to see how he's
And I
doing.
would tell you again, this is what's going
That's
on.
what friends do.
It's not that you could fix the situation. I'm not looking for someone to be like, I'm going to fix your problems. It's, talking it out.
Yeah.
Let you know I support you, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's what friends do. Even if you can't directly help, just talking is important. Just say, hey, what's going on, man? That's what friends do. Hate to tell ya. And sometimes it takes, you don't have anything to talk about at all. But sometimes you want to, friendship takes work. Marriages take work. Relationships take work. And you might not have anything to say. But, being in a relationship with your parents takes work, because sometimes you don't want to call them, but I promise you they'll be happy if you do, right? And it's just something you got to do. That's something in life that if you want to keep those relationships where you think it adds something to your life to have this person in your life, sometimes you got to put a little work in, right? Phillip has never, ever had that inkling to do unless he's getting something for it. And that's the only reason he keeps calling his parents, I bet. It's because they give him $2,000 of whatever. They give him birthday presents and tax money. And they believe all the bullshit.
So that's that. And I want to talk about this. He'll often say, I'm the realist. I'm the most, here's, honestly this. Here's the truth of the matter.
Yeah. Well, that just means pay attention. John, that just means pay attention, please.
Honestly this. Here's the truth of the matter. When people do that, they're usually doing it for a reason. It's usually because they're not telling the truth.
No. It means to pay attention.
If every time you spoke and you go, here's the honest truth of it. Let me be honest with you for a second. I'm the most honest. I'm the realist. That's a warning sign.
Yes,
big one.
yes.
Because why you feel the need to say that?
No, that means pay attention.
On his
Please.
Thanksgiving video, he talks about, I have no idea what I did wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. If you go to that video from August where he's reading my text, there's random people in the comments, man, and on Twitter and whatnot, that don't know Phil personally, don't know me personally. Well before there's a problem, that there's an obvious problem between us publicly. There's people that are saying maybe you shouldn't read someone's text out loud like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So there's
think?
random people that will watch and immediately go, why are you reading someone's text out loud? Obviously, it's a private message. Why are you doing that? But here we are all these months later, and he still has no idea. But random people can figure it out immediately after watching the video.
Yep.
You know. So that was pretty much it. That kind of broke the back right there, man. Because again, you had all the stuff in the past, which many times saying things publicly that's saying things publicly about me that's not true, and then saying please don't do that. And here we go, like the biggest infraction of all, in my opinion. It's a big thing for me, man. Trust, you know. 'Cause how do you really be friends with someone if you can't trust them? How do you tell them things? Part of a friendship is kind of like an intimacy of it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You share things about your feelings or family or whatever. Hell.
Yep.
That's kind of gone. It's gone right there, man. So I don't respond to it. I don't say anything publicly. My reaction is basically like, all right, he says he's going to call me. In that video, he actually says he's going to call me.
Yes, he
Let's see if
does.
he calls.
So, in the intern, I'm gonna roll into this one. In the intern, in the middle of this, he starts sending text messages. First, he starts with John. Starts sending John
Okay, this will be the last bit we play for today.
these text messages, like in the middle of the night. So now, when you do the math, right? John starts getting text messages at 6 o'clock in the morning. That means it's like 2 o'clock in the morning there.
Well, those are prime gen hours, please.
So now, when you start reading them, you start looking at it, and it doesn't make any sense why he's even texting. And it's not even coherent. So you start wondering if the guy was like...
Hey, whoa, I found one of these. Oh, I found one. That's official one. Hey, Howie. Playthrough due when? That was pretty cool. I found that somehow. I hacked into the phone system.
If he's been drinking and texting.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's really weird. So basically I called John up, and John goes, yeah, he texted me.
Yeah, you getting these weird texts? Yeah, I got them last night too. Holy fuck, man.
It's really weird, and he keeps texting me, and I'm not responding back, and and like when he texts, like he's sending these messages like he does feel sorry on one end, but and then he says something that like later that contradicts it completely. So
You just get to the point where like.
So we're going to get to this. We're obviously not today because it's only less than an hour left. But we're going to get to Phillip again responding to this because I'm most interested in that. I can't remember how he said that because he said Howard just said that Phillip sent messages to Howard saying I'm sorry for stuff. So what are you sorry for? If they weren't direct about shit, what are you sorry for?
This is not good to have in my life.
Yeah, it's
and
not
it's
good
sad
to
because
have. Yeah,
it doesn't mean you hate the person. It doesn't mean that you wish them ill. It's like you hope they could fix whatever they got going on.
Yeah,
but they're just doing too much damage to you and themselves. You know.
Yeah, and then you look at it and you're like,
That's what it's like.
there's no.
Damn. Now those are fucking bad. If he says that, he was clearly causing too much damage to himself. Like Phillip was in a bad way, man. Think about that. That's 2015, so him and Leanne are already not doing great. And that's just sending, sorry, man. Sorry about the placements. Yes, sorry. But it's still your fault, though. But sorry.
Consistency there's no rhyme or reason, no consistency to what he does. So, and then John goes like, just get ready because you're probably going to get a text message. So, a few weeks ago, what does he do? He texts me. Yeah. And it's weird because he starts off with like, hey,
so I heard you hate me now or something.
Yeah. Hey, I haven't talked to you in a while. I hear you and John both hate me now.
Yeah.
So that's Philip's response. Oh, no, wait. So what could that be in response to? The Pay Me Tons or the podcast we played? This one. Where they said, like, that was August 19th. Yeah, so that's the same year. I guess he could be talking about that, but...
I haven't talked to this guy in like
is there someone telling him the wrong things? I don't know. Maybe there is.
I haven't talked to this guy since he left. The day that he left, that was the last time I talked to him.
Yeah, there's rewinding a bit. So after he does the video with the text message and all that, he did a pre-stream like the following weekend where he says like stuff with John had kind of become stale anyway. It was basically an attempt to be like, the entire thing was basically like to write me out.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely.
For no reason, because like if you just called, I would have told him, "Hey man, give me like a month or two."
He
but it was an attempt to kind of write like we don't need John anymore. He's a fucking loser. He's got all problems, and we don't need him. We're gonna keep going with watch my stuff. Got very defensive, like almost like I was doing something wrong to him when I really wasn't.
Yeah,
I did not wrong him by not being able to do his content. There's a video, man, that somebody sent to me, okay, which was taken from one of his streams, dude. So he basically was talking about me around this time period. Maybe it was like August or September, and he's going off about how John lives with his parents. John lives in the middle of nowhere. He's got all these problems. And
Cool.
Yeah, it's like what I was saying. Like, we don't need that fucking loser around here,
He said
He
that?
didn't specifically
Where's
say
that?
the loser part, but he did say the other stuff. But here's the thing: he doesn't know anything about my house, who I live with. He has never been to my home. He's never expressed interest in doing that. He doesn't really know who's in my life or anything about the situation. And you guys saying things like that on a public stream.
Yeah.
Someone that's supposed to be your friend. So I contact him after this, immediately after, sent him a text message, because he wants to say that no one ever expressed any problems, or I don't ever heard of any problems of John having with me.
Yep.
So I sent him a text to say, I caught wind that you're saying very private things. By the way, not true things, lies about me. In one of your streams, I expect that you will not be posting that to YouTube. I hope that you will not be uploading that to YouTube.
Too late, John.
He didn't respond, and I do not believe that he did. I don't think he did actually post it.
Fuck. Lost
One
media.
of those like pre-stream things.
Lost media.
But again, it's like, what is going on here, man?
yeah.
The next time I hear from he asks, would you like to be on Hate Live? Which I tell him I can't do. He gets kind of frustrated about it, and I kind of listen, man, I'm doing my own show this week. Like, I'm not available to do that. It's basically like every interaction has to eventually do with videos and stuff, man. He talked about the Thanksgiving video, he talks about, like, we were talking about shows and stuff. There'll be a message like, hey, you're watching Gotham. And I'll be like, yeah, it's pretty decent. And then it'll just immediately turn into, let's record this weekend.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you thinking, man?
Hey, you watching Gotham? Yeah, that's pretty cool. I kind of like it. So videos, anyway. So videos. What do you think about videos?
and I'll admit there's many texts he sends which I just don't respond to, because how do you trust it, man?
You watching
How do you
Gotham?
trust is it going to become something that's I got to talk about in a video now?
Yeah,
See,
pretty
John's
much.
talking to me all the time.
And that's one. And that's one of the reasons why I was reluctant to why I didn't reply to that text message, because I looked at it and said, well, if John went through this nonsense with him going ahead and posting these text messages on or reading these things on his vlogs, then what's it going to keep him from doing it with me?
Or if you respond, it becomes like, oh, Howard's talking to me. What the fuck, John's?
Yeah. So why even put myself in that predicament? That's why I didn't even bother texting him back. I just left it like that. But and then, like I said, he writes these text messages, sends text messages to John, then sends me a text message, and then what does he do right after? He goes ahead, he posts a video.
Yeah, this was maybe 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, and then what does he do? This week he goes and posts this video on Thanksgiving.
So yeah, 2 weeks ago we both got texts like the middle of the freaking night while we're
middle of the night. I got this text message. It was like 4:30 it was 5:30 in the morning. So that was I think it was like 3 in the morning over there, 2 in the morning.
Well, that's his drinking hours.
I look at it and I talked to John and I said, I really think he's drinking.
He basically these texts. I'm not going to go word for word because that's what happened to me. I'm not going to do that, but he basically expressed that he wants to kind of work things out.
Yeah.
But he really doesn't, because you saw what he did on Thanksgiving. So it was basically like an ultimatum kind of thing. Like, if
Phillip loves his ultimatums.
If you can talk to me, respond to me right now, then I'm going to go publicly and try to fuck you, publicly. Yeah. So you're not really apologetic if you're doing that. You're not really trying to make things right. And you're really not hurt by the situation. Okay? And like, if you and I had a problem, Howie, which you never know.
I know, right?
And I felt really bad that you're not speaking to me. I'm probably not going to make the things worse.
No.
Ultimatums are never something you do with your friends, right? I mean, there's some ultimatums you got to do, like, if you don't stop doing this, we're not going to be friends anymore. If some situation they're hurting themselves, I guess. But let's talk about relationships between people, how they treat each other. You don't say, if you don't respond right now, it's over. You try to ask questions to get to the core of the problem, right? So, hey, everything all right? What's going on? You kind of go about that way. You don't make ultimatums to your fucking friends, man. That's pretty rough. That's not what something real friends do.
By saying shit like whatever he said, the insults that he said in a public video.
Yeah, and
it's almost like he's always got to try to save face. I'm the winner. There's no winner in this situation, man.
And I would try to address it personally versus doing it the way he does. And personally, I'll be completely honest with you, John.
All right, we saw this part again. Okay, let's move on. We're going to, remember, don't worry, the next time we get to this, probably next week, we're going to hear that with Phillip's responses as well. So we'll get this whole thing again. So if we miss anything this time, don't worry. Here we go. So let's move on here. Get out of here, John and Rambo. Come on. That video is a gold mine anyway, though. As predicted, the children of the internet spanned the weekend preview with unrelated comments, so they'll now be disabled. So this is the people talking about talking about Howard and Rambo, right? This is all their responses there. Literally everything you said is wrong, false, but not your fault. It's what you were told. So that's all the things he's saying. What Rambo and Howard said was all wrong. Nothing in my video is a lie. I'm just defending myself from slander. Telling the truth isn't stooping to anything. No worries. This is all covered. Been trying to talk to John for a year. He won't respond, but it's okay for him to make a video. Hypocrite much? You know how many videos Phillip made. I've played them all about this topic, and he was lying in all of those. And he actually said, I'm going to call John Rambo in the next few days, but he did not do that. As predicted, you silence any criticism. You're really just an awful human being. I hope you realize that. Comments about personal stuff unrelated to the video completely is criticism. I'm not awful. You're just stupid. How do you like the taste of Phil's... Okay, this is a good question from Hurtbox TV. So how do you like the taste of Phil's cock? Because you can't get that thing out of your mouth. That's a good question. James Stay Ballsy says, agreed. This all needs to get settled privately before it gets worse. I hate seeing friends being torn apart. I actually agree. But I didn't make a 100-minute negative video about private stuff and release it. Too late. Phillip, how many videos have you made before this fact, making up assumptions about Rambo that makes people think he's the asshole here? How many have we played already? How many? When was this private info released? You were the one who spread lies publicly again and again. Thank you, Dylan Carson. That's what I say. Oh, look, if it isn't the victim of the internet. I find it funny how he wants no drama but continues to create said drama. I don't believe everything John said was true. Phil's response might prove me right. May as well disable all video comments. He would do that, actually, so don't worry. Anyways, I hate to say it, but you are likely right. No, those comments were the truth. Get a job. And the mental health comment makes you as credible as Phil. You gotta love how you were all... The hate makes me stronger not that long ago. Funny to see how the littlest thing triggers you. Good point. Okay, hate live. Now this is... Because I think after this, Phillip decided... he didn't make any video response to that one at all. It never happened. I think he kind of just took the stance of, I'm not saying shit about it. I got nothing to say. So he didn't say anything. We're going to jump forward a whole year here to June of 2017. Now, this is right when Leanna is about to leave. Let's see. Did I put that in the timeline? Yes, I did. I'm sure I did. Didn't I? Yeah, May of 2017, Leanna leaves. So we are... This is May, and this is June. So we're just saying stuff about iJustine this very month, okay? And also DSP responds to Kat on Twitter this very same month, all right? Let's go.
Do a co-op play. Ice Wings Wolf did another 100-bit cheer, and he says, will you someday in the future do a co-op playthrough with John Rambo? No! Oh my God, what a silly question. Dude,
why not?
Did you not get the picture that he didn't want to talk to me? He blew me off after I moved across the country.
He blew me off. He blew me off, is what he just said. John Rambo said, I'm available most nights if you want to give me a call. He responded to the text, first of all, with that message where he said, give me a call was a response. How was that blowing him off? Big O's Funky Monk, by the way, says, can't wait to hear ALT on the DSP and his foot arc. No. It's not going to be that hype. The foot arc, please. Big ups to Shadow Slammer, who says, hey, Bub, I don't watch wrestling, but I love to join DSP and Ashton Smart Guys show. Have DSP show big feet and dangle feet. Like me in wheelchair. Thank you, Shadow Slammer. And the Pasta Maker says, John, babe, please take me back. I'm sorry, man. Please. You're not a talentless hack. You really made my writing shine. Please, babe. Merry Christmas. No, that's too coherent. Big ups to Pasta Maker.
Every time I tried to talk to him, he ignored me. Then he made a hateful
That's not true.
Video about me, revealing a bunch of shit that he apparently didn't like about me or was mad at me about, that he had never said anything to my face about. So, no, he lives...
That's not true.
On the other side of the country, we don't talk. Why do people still bring that shit up? Like, seriously, it's so silly. Still asking to this day, 2 years later, after he literally made it known that he basically hates my guts, do you think he's going to do a playthrough with me? No, get the picture. What a silly question. What a silly notion.
Okay. Not true. Okay, cool.
What were my friends?
Okay, most painful moments.
All right. The first was when I was, I mean, you know, I hate to say it, betrayed by my longtime, who I thought were my friends, John Rambo and Howard.
He said betrayed. Remember, this is the dude that did the ultimatums to both Howard and Rambo. Different style of ultimatums, but he did them. And now we're saying we're betrayed. Betrayal! Betrayed me!
Who, over the years, you know, I did many things with. I hung out with them as well as made video content for YouTube with them, went to tournaments with them, traveled to conventions with them, and not once ever, I'm serious, during that period of time, except for one exception, where John Rambo actually had issue with one thing that I said, and we talked about it like men, and we hashed it out, and we agreed. It was in the... John Rambo actually had issue with one thing that I said, and we talked about it like men, and we hashed it out, and we agreed. Okay. It was in the past. Not once...
That's one fucked up thing I did.
Did they ever say they had issue with me? That I did something wrong?
Okay.
That I was a bad friend? None of that. Then I move across the country, okay, to Washington, and a year and a half later... After I move across the country, after trying to retain contact with them and not hearing from, in particular, from John Rambo, who really was my closer friend, Howard.
Yeah, because Howard was messaging you and you just ignored those, except when he talked about the person that died from the FGC, which you did not ignore, you just didn't respond and made a video about it.
Was more of an acquaintance. He would join us for stuff every once in a while, but he wouldn't necessarily be like a main focal point of stuff that I was doing. It was John I hung out with a lot more. Every week, John would come over to make videos and stuff, and we'd shoot the shit.
That wasn't hanging out, that's making videos.
It was stuff behind the scenes of what we were doing for YouTube. That was, you know, personal stuff that we would talk about. Okay. So a year and a half after I move across the country, in particular, John Rambo, to make a video out of nowhere. The other thing was, it wasn't like he contacted me and said, Phil, I got a lot of shit, grievances against you, and I want to make a video about it. What? Nothing, not warning, makes a video. With him
that's because you made so many videos saying shit that wasn't true, he decided had enough. It was made two days after the video that I played where he says, what's up with, someone asked, what's up with you and John Rambo, did you have a falling out? And he explained all that bullshit. 2 days after it, that's when Phillip said, if you're a man, you hash out your problems. So Phillip did this first. Phillip made many videos saying lies about Rambo, and finally Rambo had enough. So I'm sorry he didn't give you a warning about that, but you didn't give any warning for the bullshit you were spreading either.
Howard basically just kind of blowing up, talking about all these things, negative things that I had done and how I'd been a bad friend to them over the years and stuff that they never addressed with me. Because here's the deal, folks.
Okay. Yeah,
honestly, I wouldn't have been hurt at one piece at all if that was stuff they had said.
What?
Folks. Honestly, I wouldn't have been hurt at one piece at all if that was stuff they had said to me.
One piece. Jitsu zai suru.
Honestly, I wouldn't have been hurt at one piece at all if that was stuff they had said to me first, so I was aware of it, and I was at least given an opportunity to fix what I was screwing up, or, you know, to not be doing the things that were annoying them. But the fact that for years I had known these guys, all the stuff I had done with them, right? I mean, it's documented. How many thousands of videos with them did I make, right? That they had all this pent-up resentment hidden inside of them that they never stood up and said to my face and even addressed ever. And then...
That's not true.
Of course, the internet makes me a villain and says, oh, Phil's a horrible person. Here's the proof. Here's a video from his 2 closest friends who say he's a terrible person. But what you got to understand is, I was never told that I was doing anything wrong. So if you're not told that something is hurting someone, or that someone has issue with you, or they wish that you would do something better, you can't change for the better. And that was the problem that I have with the whole situation, right? Is that they
were not directly, they did not hold me down and write down a list of things I'm doing incorrectly. Even though they asked me to do things differently, they said, hey man, listen, I'm not in a good place right now, but when I'm okay, I'll send you a message when we're ready to rock, right? That's what Rambo said legitimately. But Phillip ignored that endlessly and kept messaging, say, oh, you check out Gotham? Anyways, videos. So, I mean, some things we don't need anyone to tell us it's a bad thing to do, right? You just know it is. But apparently there are some people on this earth that think you do need to tell them everything that is bad.
No, these things were going wrong. And if you don't know, you can't fix it.
Yeah, definitely.
And so for me, when that video was released, was one of the most hurtful things that ever happened to me in my entire life, because these are guys who, at least I would say Howard, again, not so much I was always close with him, but John, I mean, for years, this is a guy who I had given life advice to. He had given me life advice. We'd helped each other out over the years with personal shit behind the scenes besides the YouTube videos. You know, there were many things that we tried to help each other with over that time frame when we were friends. And you know, there were times when, you know, financially, if I could help John in any way, I helped him, and he would help me emotionally with shit and stuff. You know, it was cool. It was like having a really close friend. That's what I thought he was. And then you know, again, no inkling whatsoever when I moved that there was anything wrong. And then for a video to just come out of nowhere and completely blindside me.
That video was the opposite of out of nowhere. Phillip dropped this video, which we said, remember? This is the opposite of out of nowhere.
There is no situation. I don't know.
Okay.
I have no clue. I'm literally in the issue because I've been completely in the dark over the whole situation since remember we had the big going away party in June of last year, and they all...
That's the one that you made an ultimatum to Howard and said, if you don't come to this party, it solidifies the fact that we're not friends, that made him come to. That made John and Howard make the video 2 days after that. But we're just pretending that didn't happen.
Here's all the things that I've done wrong, and this is why they don't talk to me. It's like, that was incredibly hurtful. That was probably one of the most hurtful things that could ever happen to me in my life, honestly. Because when you trust someone the way I trusted them, and for that to happen, and I'll be honest, since then, I don't have any real close friends on purpose. Because for me to accept someone in as a close friend and to share personal...
I'm not ready to get hurt again. I'm not ready to get hurt again.
...shit with someone that are going to do, you know, I'm afraid that someone might do the same thing. Tell me that I'm a good friend, and tell me everything's good, and everything, and all of a sudden, oh, here comes another laundry list of shit, right?
Yep. All right. Yeah, better have no friends. That's the best way to go. No friends. Good life.
Let's see.
Great fun.
The other thing, honestly, and this is more personal, I'm not going to get into it, obviously, is my breakup from this year. You know, I was with my ex-girlfriend for 5 years.
Okay.
5 years is a lot of fucking time. Now, I didn't live with her all that time. We were going out long distance for 2 years, where every month she would come visit me for an extended weekend or whatever on the train.
Extended weekend.
When there was opportunity for us to go on longer trips like vacations and stuff, we would do that together. And then finally, we were making a life together out here. We got to move out to Washington, and you know, this whole house was a project of both of ours.
Both of ours.
You know, and to see it fall apart the way that it did, really, it was incredibly hurtful. And, you know, that's probably something I'll never get over in a lot of ways, because that was 5 years of my life, you know, 5 years.
Why did it break
of
up?
my life given to someone, really, when you think about it.
Oh my
And
God, given to someone? I gave her my life. I gave her everything. He said given to her. Oh, given to somebody. What? Hold on.
To see it fall apart the way that it did, really, it was incredibly hurtful. And, you know, that's probably something I'll never get over in a lot of ways, because that was 5 years of my life, you know, 5 years of my life given to someone, really, when you think about it, and to have that fall apart. Now,
that's wild to come back with that. Didn't come out with that. I gave her my life. I gave you 5 years of my life. Yeah, good point, John Gahul. It's no surprise he did the I Justine rant. He probably hates women more than ever right now. He knows he wants to find one, but he also hates them more than ever now. There's
all kinds of reasons for what happened, and I'm not going to tell you, because honestly, it's none of your business.
Okay,
and I'm not trying to be insulting.
Make sure she's the bad person, though, before you say nothing. Got it.
Or being stingy or whatever, but it really is none of anyone's business what happened between me and her and why the relationship fell apart. Okay. And I'm not going to really share that, because it's just personal shit that, you know, you've seen what happened with the personal stuff that we shared over that 5-year period, how it was twisted against us and used to troll us and nasty stuff. I would never reveal the personal shit behind the scenes that happened, you know, that led to us basically breaking up. But it's incredibly hurtful. It is. It's incredibly, incredibly hurtful. You know, and it sucks, because I'm always going to have that scar, emotional scar inside of me of some 5 years. The thing is, too, we documented a lot of the stuff we did together. Look at the videos over the years. Every holiday, we put up a Christmas tree together and recorded it.
That's just so you could get money.
All the vacations we went on. Hell, DSP Tries It, a running series that started with me solo and then ended up having her added to it because we lived together, right? And now it's solo again. It's sad, because you go back to watch DSP Tries It, oh, look, she's in all of them, right?
Yeah,
and it's like,
the best episodes.
You know, she was a big part of my life. And to have...
Oh my God, we're just saying, she's a huge part of my life. She was in so many videos.
Have that gone is just incredibly hurtful. All right.
Hurtful is not the right way to say that. In the title, he fixes it to painful, but he keeps saying hurtful. And hurtful to me is a nuance of meaning someone does something to hurt you. Normally, breaking up is not one of those things you describe as hurtful, unless they say, like, fuck you, I'm out of here. That hurts, right? But that was not the case here. It's more painful. And he changed that in the title to say most painful moments, but he keeps saying hurtful here, which is interesting.
So those are the two things, definitely. Those are the two things. All right. All right. From
Tough Year.
Get Two Birds. He asks, is there any place in the world that you'd like to visit or dreamed of going to? This is
I'm going to say, he's going to say Japan.
Recurring question.
Just answer, then quickly, please.
A recurring question.
Please,
that
quickly.
Happens over time.
Quickly.
But let's answer it again. Yes, there are two places I would like to go. There's two places I would like to go in short term, and there's two places I would like to go long term. Short term, the two places I would like to go is I'd like to go on a California vacation again.
Oh, God. All right. Big ups to Joe Dub, who says, Phil wants to blow off Rambo, literally. Yeah, well, that's part of it, John. That's what you missed out on, John. Big up Shadow Slammer, says, incredibly sad. Hey, Siri, play Big Girls Don't Cry. Big Girls Don't Cry. Big up Tony T. Panda got a lot of vacations from Phil. Sorry, Cat. Yeah, at least Panda got some vacations. Or at least, they were staycations, but still, those could be fun, right? She got those. All right, big ups. Let's go. Moving on forward positively here. Positively here. This is still 2017. We have announced we have a girlfriend now, but we don't know who they are. So we are talking to Catherine Moore here, but we don't know who they are yet.
Guys, he said he didn't mean to bring up bad memories with John Rambo or whatever. It's not even bad memories, because for me, there were no bad times for me with John. Blackbitch, she typed in a 10-bit cheer and apologized. He said he didn't mean to bring up bad memories with John Rambo or whatever. It's not even bad memories, because for me, there were no bad times for me.
Okay.
Everything that happened when I lived in Connecticut was good.
Yeah.
And then when I moved out here, then all of a sudden, apparently there's all this resentment and issues. It's like, well, if there were issues of resentment, maybe you should have said something when I was still in Connecticut so I could solve the issues rather than having them all fester inside and then all of a sudden you blow up 2 years later when I live across the country. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I digress. That's not what we're going to talk about here today.
Okay. Well, remember... you made many videos about John Rambo after you moved.
To get into that shit,
he finally had enough.
2 years ago when they put out that stupid podcast or whatever it was.
Stupid podcast.
Who gives a shit at this point, right?
All right, who cares? Definitely, good point. All right, moving forward.
And then this guy goes out to ask about John Rambo and Howard. Guys, all right, I'm going to say this loud and clear. I've said it before. I'll say it again.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Move on from the past. All right, I have. You need to.
No.
Things are never going to go back to how they were. All right. The things that have happened, the choices that have been made by others in regards to me and people's attitudes toward me cannot be controlled by me.
Uh-huh.
All right?
Nothing's his
Stop
fault,
it.
huh? Yep.
And I mean that. Stop it. You guys are living in the past. You guys think that magically, somehow I'm going to move back to Connecticut and everything's going to magically go back to how it was.
That'd be kind of cool.
And people are going to come over to do co-op all the time. It's not. Guys, it's over. All right?
Stop this!
It's absolutely over, folks. That's what you need to realize.
No.
You're wasting your time with these kind of silly notions. Dwelling on the past. I moved on. I realize that things have happened in the past and things change, right? And they're never going to be the same. Stop having these ridiculous hangover, feelings about, things are magically going to go back in time 5 years.
Hangover feelings. Nailed it.
Right? And they're never going to be the same. Stop having these ridiculous hangover, feelings about, things are magically going to go back in time 5 years and be better. They're not. We live in 2017. We're about to be in 2018. The world's a very different place now than it was 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can either accept that, right? Or you can be this depressed person crying in your basement about how you used to like the past. I mean, I could do that too. Listen, I could go cry about the years when I was making tons of money on YouTube and I was white hot popular and one of the top gamers on YouTube and I had all these people who wanted to come out and do co-op stuff with me and everything. It's not the case anymore, all right?
Yeah, so instead I just bitch about low views every fucking day.
It's not. You just need to realize this, guys, all right? Seriously. You need to wake up.
Wake up!
All right? Thank you.
I will never play more co-op with Rambo. Howard was never really my friend. Then I guilt Trump into coming to my party. You wanted to. He didn't want to come to my party. He didn't want to. Do you want to come to my party? I don't want to. I don't think we are true friends. We were never friends. Howard was not my friend.
Talk about here with John Rambo or Howard. And again, I'm going to say it. All you people who keep bringing it up, you're wasting your time.
Oh, God, we're still going with this?
It's when it came to making video content, but they were also good friends for the time that we had that friendship established.
Okay.
And then when I moved across the country, I guess they felt that established friendship had ended.
No,
right.
You didn't call John.
Right? And that was it.
Okay.
There's nothing else to talk about here with John Rambo or Howard. And again, I'm going to say it. All you people who keep bringing it up, you're wasting your time. You're living in the past. You need to move on. It's about to be 2018.
Why have you
it's about
betrayed me?
2018. All right? It's time to move on from this stuff in the past. All right? If anyone ever wanted to continue a friendship, it would have to be on their behalf because they were the ones who publicly basically stated, listen, we have all these problems with Phil. Okay. So if they forgave that, they would contact me and say, okay, Phil, time's passed. We want to be friends again. Water under the bridge. I wasn't the one who had issue. I wasn't the one who didn't respond to contact for a year. It was all...
They did respond and say, give me a call anytime, and you chose not to do that. You also made a fuck ton of videos about lies about Rambo, and they got pissed.
I wasn't the one who had issue. I wasn't the one who didn't respond to contact for a year. It was always them. So saying that, I the ball's in my court is ludicrous. Okay. Absolutely ludicrous. And the bottom line is, as I said, I've absolutely no plans. I'm moving back to Connecticut. I want to stay here. My life here is good. Everything here is better than it has been in the, when I lived in Connecticut. And, I'm doing my best to stay here, right? As much as I possibly can. I have to do everything I can to stay here. I have to bust my ass the next month to pay these taxes and stay here, all right? So please, let's stop living in the fucking past, okay? All right. Astro Jet Boy did a 10-bit cheer. He says, any DSP tries it coming up soon? Not particularly. There hasn't been anything new at all.
Not particularly.
This is what a lot of people... That sucks. They're not allowed to fix the situation. It would be too expensive. So... if I move back there, constantly fluctuating internet, inconsistent streaming because the internet sucks.
Constant fluctuating internet, right. These are all the reasons why you can't move back, because people were saying, like, hey, dude, if your taxes are that tough, why don't you just move back to a smaller place, sell your house, all this shit. Phillip would endlessly have reasons not to do that.
Sucks. All right? Would not be a good situation at all. And then the other thing, this is what a lot of people, well, if Phil goes back to Connecticut, that means he could start doing co-op again with John Rambo.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Are you nuts? 2 years ago, John Rambo and Howard made it abundantly clear.
Yeah.
All right? They don't want to do anything with me anymore. All right? They don't.
That's not true.
That was in the past. They moved on. And it's been 2.5 years, guys. It's time to fucking, actually, no. It's actually been 3.5 years since I moved. It's time to wake up. Just because if I'm forced to move back to a shitty condo in Connecticut with bad internet and a lower quality streaming and everything, doesn't mean things are going to go back to normal. They're going to be better. They're not. In fact, they're going to be inevitably worse. All right? It's just going to be worse. The weather's worse out there. I can't shovel snow. I still have my back injury, I can't shovel snow and all that. It's just going to be worse. It's going to go right back to being shitty again.
All right, let's see how many times it snows in Connecticut on average. I can't shovel snow. All right, so the all-time average snowfall in Connecticut is, in Bridgeport, okay, in Bridgeport. So the average number of days it snows in Connecticut, in Bridgeport, Connecticut, right? That's where he's from. In Bridgeport, Connecticut, born and raised. 9 days a year, okay? 9 days a year is the average snowfall in Connecticut, coastal Connecticut, which is where he's from. 9 days. 9 days. Wow.
This is the last 3.5 years of my life living in Washington.
And that doesn't mean you have to shovel all those 9 days either, because remember, he's only leaving his house once a week. So
have been great. This is the place I want to stay. I've said this many times. This is the place I want to stay for the rest of my life, if I can. I love the weather out here. I love the people. Everything is within driving distance from me. This is the ideal for me. I never want to become better than this. You know what I mean? Phil's aspiration is to make even more money and get a bigger house. No, I'm fine where I am. I just want to stay where I am for the rest of my life. I'd be perfectly happy. But
exactly.
Situations just keep creeping.
He also lives in a condo. So what is he shoveling? The 5-foot patch in front from his door to the sidewalk?
Fuck up that don't really want to allow me to do that for some reason. No. Moving back to Connecticut would be terrible. It would. You have no idea.
Oh, please,
you really have no idea. You're talking months of me not streaming consistently because of it.
Why?
It's not going to be good.
Months of you not streaming consistently? Why?
People have these crazy aspirations and wild dreams. It's not a win-win. It's very, very much I keep the house and I stay here and things stay great and positive in 2018, or it's going to be a shitty year. It's going to be a really shitty year, and I don't want it to be a shitty year. Which is why I'm doing this special event today. Critical for Day says, you sound sick. Are you okay? I'm not sick. Maybe a little congested or whatever, but I'm not sick.
I'm not sick. I am not sick.
I don't even know what you mean. I'm not coughing. I'm not congested, so I don't even know what you're talking about. All right, let's see. Captain DCW did a 15-bit cheer. He says, I just finished Super Mario Odyssey a few minutes ago. Congrats. The game's great. One of the best of...
All right, next up, now we're in 2018 here. So Catherine is moving in this very same month as this video here. This will be the last year we get into today. And then next time we do this, we'll get into DSP Reacts, where Phillip responds to everything, obviously. Big ups King Eagles, who says, hey, cool young guy ALT, where do you upload your daily videos? YouTube doesn't send me notifications when I miss a video or two thinking you're off. It's always in, I don't upload them, I just keep them live. Unlike Phillip, I just keep them live. So go to the live tab,
eat a lunch meat sandwich.
and you'll see them. The only thing I do is add the timestamps. That's all I do to videos. So you'll see them in the live tab. Big ups Joe Dub says it's terrible. I have to look at my parents again. Yeah, that's a lose-lose. I have to actually talk to my parents. Huh? What?
There was a 200th episode of a show. Oh, oh wow! Look at the bike I just got. Holy shit, dude! Shout out to It's Fucking Raw to me $5. Apparently he saw. I guess there was a 200th episode of a show that John Rambo puts out. He says, "Brought a tear to my eye. Too bad you guys drifted apart." It was nothing of my doing or my choice. It was 100% him. So it is what it is, I guess.
That's not true.
Mozales did a 25-bit cheers. I never passed Shot 5 on PS2. You just made it look too easy. Oh, look. The girl's actually on campus.
What are you doing? Want to hang out?
Try appealing to my
This is for you.
Oh.
You're so cute.
Oh.
That's why.
Jimmy,
All right, let's do it.
what are you waiting for?
I guess she's supposed to be your girlfriend.
This looks like me in my college days. I did the same thing.
That's why.
Jimmy,
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
what are you waiting for?
That works about 10% of the time. So if you just do it enough, you can do pretty well. I'll give you that's my advice, guys. Just say, all right, let's do it.
I guess she's supposed to be your girlfriend now because you beat the game. So you can only give her flowers, I guess. Ah.
Oh, definitely. Phillip not watching.
I don't understand why the world can't live up to my
See ya.
standards.
Later. All right. All right, let's do
Be
it.
friends with Rambo again.
Uh-oh.
The bottom. All right, so we can get out of here now. GSP is really cool. Ask will I ever be friends with Rambo again? The bottom line is I didn't stop being friends with him. He stopped being friends with me.
You gave him an ultimatum, sir, multiple of them, and talked shit about him on multiple videos. That's kind of why the friendship ended, don't you think? And by the way, John Rambo said the door is still open if you ever want to give me a call. That was how he ended that video. Was that Jade oh, yeah, he does kind of look like the bully guy, doesn't he? Good point, Shadow Slammer.
So, you know what I mean? Like, he was the one who had issues and never said anything. He was the one who stopped talking to me. I didn't end the friendship. He did.
Oh, it was
so
a
if he wanted to be
relationship.
friends with me again, I'm sure he would tell me that and contact me and talk to me. He has not.
Okay.
So therefore, it's obvious. Oh, God, Death's Door. What is this? It's obvious he does not want to be friends with me. And quite frankly, it's now been over 2 years. So at this point, I don't think it's really that big of a deal anymore. I've moved on.
Right.
By the way, I can talk to this thing, I think. I think I have the ability to do it now.
Sounds like it.
I love to think about more time. Say, I wish I... What a jerk. I go back to Bloodborne, I'm not going to be doing the challenge. I'm in challenge. No, you don't.
Phillips looks like he's having a lot of fun here. He's definitely winning.
Like, you Mr. Popo.
Oh, God. PUBG time.
Don't you too? Also, do you remember playing Brutal Legend with Jack Black? I'll be honest with you, Mr. Popo. This is the truth. I'm not a person who, like, dwells on the past. I'm not. Like, yeah. Originally, when John Rambo made a very hurtful video about me with Howard, and I watched it, and I'm like, this is all stuff I never knew about, and if they just told me, we could have, like, just resolved it.
Right.
Rather than it becoming what it is now.
Right.
You know, friendship ruined or whatever. But after that,
He's still trying to say they ruined the friendship.
it was like, oh,
Must
well.
be great to live with that kind of mindset. How nothing is your fault. Every friendship you lost is because of that person. Very cool and very true.
Well, it is what it is. They made their choice. Really, honestly, no. I don't have. Oh my God, I have such horrible memories of the past and the horrible things that have happened, and it could have worked out better. No, I'm not like that. I'm not. I move forward positively, so I really don't think about it at all whatsoever. I don't dwell on the past when it comes to past playthroughs that it would have been so much better if I kept doing co-op.
Your drunk gin
just don't care. I
messages
keep moving.
tell a different tale.
Man, I just keep going. That's the only way to go through life, especially when you had a life like mine. For the past 10 years, there's been so much nasty shit thrown my way and just nasty things done to me. All I can do is shrug and move on positively, and that's all I care about, man.
Yeah. Every once in a while, get drunk enough to send a tweet to your people you wish you were still friends with. Yeah, that's how the way to live life. Do I play Marvel Rivals? No, I do not, King Eagles. Okay, here we go. Moving forward. Not positively, we're just moving forward.
Who was always contacting Rambo? I was...
Uh-oh.
Hardy Buck cheered, and he says, it's the 4th of July, the day of forgiving, give John Rambo a call. What I like is that you still think that it has something to do with me.
It does. John Rambo said the door is open, and you actually said you were going to call him yourself.
I was the one who was always contacting Rambo. I was the one who was ignored. It wasn't like, oh, he was trying to talk to me and I was being a jerk about it. He was the one who ignored me.
Okay.
Yet people still act like it's the opposite. I need to reach out to him. That's what I was doing. That's literally what I was doing. I was reaching out to him and being ignored. Why would I reach out to him again?
Yep.
The ball has always been in his court. Always. And he just freaking acts like it's on me. I was always the one who reached out and did everything.
There was some anger there. Hear that? And he acts like it. Oh, excuse me, sir. This was a commenter from a chatter. This was a comment from a chatter. It wasn't John Rambo. Ease up, okay? John Rambo's not in the room here.
And he just freaking acts like it's on me.
He freaking acts like it's on me. Hear that anger?
I was reaching out to him and being ignored. Why would I reach out to him again? The ball has always been in his court.
Oh shit!
On me. The ball has always been in his court. Always. And he just freaking acts like it's on me. I was always the one who reached out and did everything. And I was the one who was ignored and mistreated. Yet I'm the villain somehow. So whatever. You know? And it's years now we haven't talked. And, you know, the way that I feel, and I've told you guys this before, I honestly feel the truth of the situation.
Oh, yeah, finally.
Is that, you know, when John was involved in my content, he was a great guy. He was always ready to contribute. He drove out a lot. You know, he drove a long way to get out here to do, I say out here.
Now we're going to talk shit about him? Are we going here?
To Connecticut to do co-op with me every week. And he was a great friend. But what I really feel is that when I moved, he saw it as kind of a betrayal because he thought that this was something that we had built together. And the fact that I was moving across the country for my own personal benefit was kind of like a betrayal to him.
Wow,
and in addition to that,
we're just making up fan fictions, aren't we?
I think that he felt that at that point, the amount of stress that he had to deal with, because what you guys got to remember, I've talked about this before.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Is that there was a tremendous amount of pressure on him because he got a lot of the flack and the attention, but also the negativity that I got. Just for being on the internet. Keep in mind, you know,
not really.
It evolved from some place where I was one of the biggest, most popular, most positive YouTubers to people hating on my guts for years, and now he was involved in that, so he was constantly getting wrangled into that shit, right? And yet he didn't deserve that, and I totally agree there. And I think what happened is when I moved, he saw this was an opportunity now where he was going to make a decision. Am I going to focus on my own stuff and just do my own thing and separate myself from that toxicity that sadly has become being associated with Phil? Or am I going to keep doing what we've been doing and kind of put up with it? And I think he realized in his own mind, his personal decision, which I respect, all right, is that to sever the relationship was the best thing to do so that he wouldn't have to be attacked anymore.
That's not
and he wouldn't
what
have
happened,
to basically
is
be feeling that toxic shit anymore, okay? And the thing is, I completely and utterly respect that decision. And if John had told me that,
John didn't say that to anybody, so that's not how he explained the situation. So, all right, those fan fictions are fun though.
Would have been okay with it, but he never did. Instead, he just ignored me, and that's not the way to deal with.
He actually responded multiple times and said, "Give me a call. I'm available most nights." And Phillip said, "I will call you one of these days," but never did.
Stuff in life. You know, it's called passive aggressivism, is when you don't actively...
Passive aggressivism. I think we just found our fourth word here. Let me hear this again.
Deal with stuff in life. You know, it's called passive aggressivism, is when you...
Passive aggressivism. That's it. All right, that's locked in, I think. That's pretty fucking good. Passive aggressivism. That's tough right there. Passive aggressivism. All right, now I'm adding it to the list. When I say adding to the list, I send it to Snood so he can remember it, so I don't have to. Passive aggressivism.
Don't actively...
Right now we're up to Hurricane Sandy. That's Hurricane Sandy, but he said Hurricane Sandy. Aerated Studio. Dilemma-style questions. We're Bamboo Line, I'm not sure, but that's the Bamboo Line socks. And passive aggressivism. Okay.
Respect someone enough to tell them the truth about a situation, and instead you just ignore it, and then it
tomorrow,
blows up.
by the way.
And that's literally what happened. Is for about a year, I was asking him, "What's going on? Are you okay? Do you want to do anything? Do you want to go back and do Smark guys or whatever?" And he would just ignore my messages, or he would respond later and just say, give me a BS answer like, "Oh, I'm still too busy. We'll maybe do it later," instead of just being honest with me, you know. And now here we are, 3 years later. Do you really think 3 years later I have any desire to reach out to someone who obviously did not respect me enough to be honest with me back then?
Okay.
Literally made stuff up about me on the internet and
Phillip.
A video, and now still in, how many years has not reached out to me.
Okay.
Why would I care? And that's it. The past is the past. And I don't care about that stuff anymore, which is why I don't bring it up. It's time to move on, guys.
It seems like you got a lot to say, though.
It really is. It's time to move on and stop acting like things that happened in the past are going to be changed or fixed. The bottom line is, as I've said this before, and I'll bring it up for you guys again. John Rambo was a part of my content from 2010 until mid-2014. So roughly, I would say, 3.5 years. I've now lived in Washington State for over 4 years. I have been doing content solo longer than I did content co-op with John. It's time to wake up and move on, guys, and stop dwelling on the past. Seriously.
Are you talking to us or yourself?
Shit up.
Okay.
Because it doesn't get anything done, and all it does is it brings up feelings about, man, it sucks that things fell apart, right?
You said you already moved past that, so are you feeling that, or who?
It's life.
Okay,
that's
adult
life.
Got
You
it.
got to realize that sometimes this shit happens, and it's not necessarily anyone's fault. Shit happens, and you just move on from it. And I'm not going to dwell on that shit anymore. Okay?
Got it.
All right.
All right, we're definitely not going to talk about it anymore, right? Definitely there's no more videos after this, right? Okay, we got about 14 videos left here. Oh, hello, Catherine.
If you got a random message on Facebook from Rambo saying, hey, man, what would you do? Well, that would be quite impressive, because I don't have Facebook. So if I actually got a Facebook message from Rambo saying, hey, man, that would be an accomplishment. That would mean that someone actually not only created a Facebook, but then somehow got into my connections and sent me the message. If Rambo ever just reached out and said, hey, man, I'd probably say, what's going on? How are you?
Any videos we can make?
There you go.
Any time for videos?
Answer. Eternal Napalm Cheer. He says, why? Oh, would you rather skydive or shark dive in a cage?
I think Kat would say, if she answers the question, which I don't think she does, I think she would say skydive. Yeah. See, that's my guess on my girl.
What do you think? Would you rather jump out of a plane in the sky?
We don't need the hand signals. I think she understands the question, Phillip.
To the ground, or would you rather go under the water in a cage surrounded by sharks? Which would you rather do?
If I had to pick, I don't want to do either, but I guess I would skydive.
You would skydive.
Yeah, if I had to pick.
See, it's a tough question for me. The reason it's tough is because I'm actually afraid of heights, which is funny because, the thing is,
I don't care. Okay, 2 more videos left, and we're going to call it a day until that being said starts. Here we go.
And ask, what's the word on John Rambo? Biology, Bob, I have no idea. I don't talk.
What's the word on John Rambo?
Tip me $1 and ask, what's the word on John Rambo? Biology, Bob, I have no idea. I don't talk to John Rambo.
What's the word on that Rambo fella?
He has his own YouTube channel. I'm sure he puts out his own content. And if you're interested in him, you could go watch his content.
You know what? We could do a wild card for tomorrow where if you get him to talk about John Rambo, that's counts for 2 or something. That'd be pretty interesting, right?
Super John.
Something like that. If you get, it has to be some kind of limit, because just saying, if he says, I'm not talking about John Rambo, that doesn't count. It has to be a little bit more than that.
Rambo Presents? Or is it John Rambo Presents? Yeah, I think it's John Rambo Presents, right? Go check out his stuff. That's how you can find out about John Rambo. You don't need to ask about him on this stream. I know
I'll
nothing
check
about
that out.
him.
That seems pretty fun.
I'm busy. Trust me, I'm more than busy enough with my own shit, okay? Famous Dex cheered. He says, I'm balling so hard like the mayor. I'm balling so hard like the mayor. I'm balling so hard like the mayor. Yeah, yeah.
Don't you love when we find ones like that? We found the fossils like that. We're archaeologists here. We're archaeologists. We just found a fossil.
Famous Dex cheered. He says, I'm balling so hard like the mayor. I'm balling so hard like the mayor. I'm balling so hard like the mayor. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Amazing. Amazing.
Big ups. Nice find.
All right.
We found a shiny. All right, last one of this last one for the year. Okay, no, we're gonna. You know what? For the sake of time, I'm gonna stop right here. And this is 2019, so we still have to get through 2019, 2022 with all the reacts, 2023, and then the last one here, which has a teaser. It's very short. Listen to this, just so you know we're gonna finish up. All right.
John actively chose to split.
This is literally 2 weeks ago.
Our friendship and not do any content with me and ever talk to me again. Like, that was his choice.
Right.
Now listen, I made mistakes.
Yep.
And I understand that. And if you want to have the full story of all of this, 2 years ago, I reacted to the John and Howard video about me.
I lied a lot about that.
A million years ago. 2015, I think they made it, right? So in 2022, I reacted to the John and Howard video from 2015. So if you want the full story, go check that out. I'm not going to reiterate and rehash the same shit over and over. But I don't have a means to contact John Rambo anymore. He stopped making content on the internet. And back then, because he had said he was upset with me for contacting him, I deleted all his information.
Okay, that's what we're going to finish up with, okay? Lots of fun left to be had on this saga, my friends. But you are all legends for hanging out today. We'll see you. So much fun left today. We got that being said. We got the tractor beam. You are still eating well for the rest of the day, my friends, all right? So I'll redirect you to that being said. Take a little break, and I'll see you in 30 minutes from now, all right? So you're all legends. Thanks for chilling. Make sure I didn't miss anybody here, any legends here. And I don't think I did. Let's see. Did I? In fact, I did. The one, the only Shiny Teeth, who says, why ask your friend why they feel hurt when you could just make shit up? Oh, yeah, it's much easier, Shiny Teeth. That's what real friends do, Shiny Teeth. Make shit up about your friends and give them ultimatums. That's the real fun. All right? Big up, Shiny Teeth. And Shadow Slammer says, did someone say, oh, here we go. Did someone say Mamba Wobbles? Bub, I best Mamba Wobbles player. Also, LT does play, and he gets easy character X-Men Wolverine like me, Bub. Big up, Shadow Slammer. Good luck. I hope you have a lot of fun with Mamba Wobbles, Jade. What's up, Jade? Later, guys. Bye.